Welcome everybody to the stream. This is a mashup of Super Mario Bros. 1 and Portal. I've been making levels in it for well over a decade. Most of my level designs were closer to when the game came out. Like everybody and their mother in the Mari0 scene, at one point I was planning a remake of Super Mario Bros. 1. With a twist. So here is my Super Mario Bros. 1 with a twist. You can see it's a little bit screwed up on the title screen, but that's because this was a work in progress. So let me just show you what's going on here real quick. So it's a pretty standard SMB1 remake affair. Mario's looking a little sluggish, but that's okay. God, this game is a lot longer than I remember. It's kind of padded out. Hop up onto each of these pipes. I don't remember what I was going for as far as the gimmick here. Like, you can't go down this pipe. Maybe I can hit this, this one up here. Yeah, here we go. Big leap across this gap. I think I wanted to do some sort of, like, level remixing, graphics stuff, or... No. The jig is up. This is where I ran out of patience. This is a map pack called Parallax Lost. It puts the entirety of the first level of Mario 1 into the, onto the background layer, and the effect immediately shreds itself as soon as you start walking to the left. This is just a fancy camera trick. Why don't I show you how it works? So, in the level editor, you can see that as I scroll, the 1-1 is there in the background, and if I do this, you can see where the air is and where the collision is. I just faked the collision for each pipe, each brick, put all the Goombas in places where they made sense. There's the 1-up. And this is about where I ran out of patience for it, but this stupid little gimmick map is still one of my favorite concepts. Something that really shouldn't exist. Something that probably could only exist in this engine. Mario has a bad back. He's not as super as he used to be. Yeah, that sums it up quite well. Why don't we move on to something that's a little more like normal? I have to scroll all the way through my list. My list of Mari0 Mappacks from back in the day is massive. You can see most of these are not mine, but we're going to be looking at something called Abstracta today. So this was my, quote-unquote, my first time taking level design seriously. You can see it has a very unique visual style. It's all of the NES colors with different levels of transparency, fancy gradient backgrounds. The backgrounds in the very far back are actually from Super Paper Mario. But this was my attempt at making something a little more professional than New Super Mario World was. I'm still really proud of how this looks. As far as, like, graphic design goes, I think it's stellar, and it's still, words. It's an important part of my history for, like, my graphic design portfolio and why I make hexagon logos and all that other shit. I still use gradients and transparency and all sorts of stuff. Abstracta is such a good name. Aw, thank you. You can see there's, in old versions of Mari0, there's no water, so, you would be swimming through this if I had my way, but there was no water tiles in the original game, so I just sort of did whatever this is. I don't know why. Whatever. Slip in under here, grab a fire flower. So, all of this stuff is portable as usual, except for the completely solid tiles. So, we have to jump across these ourselves. We could portal the, spinies out of each of these. You can see I was more like trying to design concepts and ideas for what a player might do rather than just throwing stuff everywhere. Hopefully that's not too loud. I might turn it down a little bit. And that says, have this one map pack I made and I really want to see the levels I made for it, but I only posted the first 2 levels and I don't know where I put the rest of it, so I only have the 2 levels. Yeah, that's... A lot of people have lost their levels over the years. I am no exception. I had a lot of early concepts for stuff that doesn't exist anymore because I lost them to my hard drive. So what we're going to be seeing today is what exists, what is left of what exists. Stepping on the switch opens this, so you think to yourself, oh, I can't get those coins, but if you just walk off, you can grab the coins. It's a, visual red herring. Definitely don't want to die here. What's the best way to not die here? Probably by doing this and this. There we go. Good name comment was in reference to Parallax Lost. Yeah, that is a really good name. I'm sad I didn't get to use it. Or that I didn't get to finish it, because it's perfect. Abstracta is a pretty good name too, though. Like you said. Can't reach that guy with my fireballs. You can see the pipes going through, the blue pipes that are going through the red ground here is purple sections, so you can kind of see through everything still. I really put a lot of work into the visual design of this one, and it still looks really, really nice. You can also just hop over things, because this is early Mari0 days. You can see I never stopped being enamored with blue gel. In fact, I think this is where that started, before I actually put it into New Super Mario World. A similar section, I mean. Don't know what's going on there. Those Goombas are just having a good time. For some reason, parts of these pipes are in the background and parts are in the foreground. I don't know quite what I was going for here, but it's a neat little, platforming section. Hop up here, hit the flagpole. Good afternoon, gamers. Hey, Appamoo, welcome to the stream. It's good to see ya. I still think that might be too loud. Ah, whatever, we'll make it work at somehow, even if I have to go back and edit it in post. Here's a cloudy level with vines and clouds and platforms. It's your standard athletic fare. If you fall down from here, you can go back up the vine and hop across this way. I like what I tried to do with all of these, various, design concepts. It's not one note, surprisingly. For being a very simple design, it ends up working in lots of extremely unique ways. Here's a hot air balloon that I made out of these tiles. You can do a lot with it, even for being as more pixely and blocky than the NES would be. Old versions of Mari0 didn't have a way to set custom graphics on things, so I couldn't make, glassy Koopas or Goombas or anything, sadly. And, most of the map packs we'll be seeing today also didn't have any custom music or anything, because back in the day you could only have one custom music track per map pack, and I never thought that was enough. So, most of mine I just used the regular default themes, and left it at that. That vine back there had platforms going up and down, and I think that's kind of cute. Was that the laser that crashes the game? Yes, up on top of the hot air balloon was some lasers that tell you, you can't go up here, you're gonna crash the entire fucking game. I can't believe I did that. Here's our castle level. Kind of a simple design, but you can see there's sort of a roof going on up here, and arches in the background. I made all of these gradient backgrounds by hand, actually. I didn't use the gradient tool for some reason. I believe it wasn't just because I didn't know the gradient tool existed, because I did know, but when I tried to use it, I wasn't getting the results I wanted, I think, so I went in and pixeled every individual transparency in that gradient by myself. I don't know why. Bullet bills and fire bar, standard castle fare. More weird, disconnected platforms here. I'm starting to see a through line with all of my old Mari0 work, that I kind of did a few things a lot, like those platforms. Guys are starting to blow fire. We're getting close to them. Blow fire? Shoot fire? I don't know. All of this is non-portalable, so we can't just portal up there. Good thing there's a vine. Ow. Damn it! That's alright. Primitive ceiling blocker, yes indeed. Apple says I could never get results from the gradient tool that I wanted either. I feel you, young Skyle. I don't know, these days I feel like it works more or less the way I want it to, but maybe that's just because I've learned how to use it effectively. Like, going from going from a color to transparency, depending on how you do it, can sometimes result in it going to black instead. And that just makes the color of the gradient look completely off. I'm doing too much talking and not enough playing the video game, so why don't we gamer this? Get out of this castle. The bullets just come from black holes. I couldn't come up with a good way to demonstrate that those are bullet areas in this style. Some weird, like, cubby holes going on here with coins in them. There's fire and bullets. Ooh, spicy. It's the first goddamn world. There we go. I think the game's still quite loud, Jesus. How do I change that? Where's the button? Open volume mixer. Open door. Okay, let's turn that down just a little bit. So, here's... World 1 was made while New Super Mario 0 World was still going. This is World 2. It was made after the fact, so this is much later in my level design career. And you can see I'm aping the first level by having, like, orange trees instead of apple trees. This all looks really, really good still. Purple clouds. You can see I was doing more with the backgrounds in this. I want to get up to that upper area, but I gotta do some platforming. Unfortunately, I'm really bad at platforming. Can't just use the portal gun to get up there, or maybe you can, but it'd be really hard. You need to get a running jump off of that one single orange in the orange tree. Exciting. Hey Justin, welcome to the stream, it's good to see ya! Yeah, we're looking at most of my old stuff today. Here's a fallen tree, hollowed out log type thing. This looks really cool still. I'm gonna go through it just to show you what it's like, but if you take the upper path, you don't have to go through it at all. Slip up through here. Different kind of trees. We're reaching more of a foresty area, almost. Do this to hop up here, very good. Can I hit this question mark block? Bingo! This platform is not solid. It's supposed to look like it's in the foreground. I know it's tripped a lot of people up, though. And for some reason, you can go down through this part of the ground. Here's another waterfall-looking thing with some rocks up there. It looks kind of neat. You can see I was going for more of, like, having two routes through the level rather than just one from earlier levels, so definitely improvement over my older level designs. Even though this was still, like, I don't know, late 2014? Late 2013, even? Can't keep the timeline straight in my head. Red Burning Dragon says, I don't remember this level. I don't know if you were there to play Abstracta, but early on, back in the day, it was only 4 levels, and it was much later that I would release the next 4 after that. Here's a candy level. We have candy canes and wrapped up little candies that I don't know the name of, and we've got cake with frosting for the ground and strawberries and whatever is going on with these weird circle gradient backgrounds that looks maybe a little too much. And by a little, I mean a lot. God. This chocolate block is solid, so we can't portal through it, but we can hop back to the previous one and portal through it. There were no semi-solids in 1.6, so you couldn't just walk under these pieces of cake or anything, so this is all solid. Looks neat, though. More Portal Heights momentum stuff going on, as Red Burning Dragon pointed out. Whee! This is really cute, but very visually overstimulating. How do you get that? Question mark. Like that. Pretty simple, actually. Chocolate fountain down this cake. Bubblegum platforms. This is something I would revisit in Zeta, which, again, we're not talking about that today because it's too big. We're mostly going to look at the smaller stuff today. Ice cream cone. It did a lot with these solid square tiles of varying transparencies. It looks really, really surprisingly good still. Sneak under here for a bonus power-up that we don't need. Click out of the window by accident. Good job. Was it worth it? Yes, I need points. I need the points. You don't understand. Points are life. Points are not used for goddamn anything in old versions of Mari0. Don't know if those have a name, but they're almost everywhere. The candies? Yeah, I don't know if those have a name either. The circular background of the last level looks like the final boss of Kirby's Dream Land 3, kinda. Yeah, it does, and I hadn't seen that before, so that's completely a coincidence. Here's our forest level. You can see I started to go a little harder on the background here. It's got a reversing gradient going on through the center diagonal here. Sneak up into this little area. This is completely solid, so we can't just trivially portal up there, and we can't use momentum here. So we need to use this and shoot ourselves with a laser. Very good. There we go. It turns on that laser catcher and turns on this light bridge. So now we can get across. I believe somebody at the time praised the fact that the coins are kind of in out-of-reach areas where you kind of have to go out of your way to get them, which I still like that idea in theory, but maybe a little too hard to get some of these. Like, how do you get those? Maybe you go past it and double back. I really want that question mark block, though. There we go. Sneaky little challenge going on there. Yeah, it looks like you double back to get these coins, and it's not really worth it. I wonder if there's even 100 coins in the entire map pack. Lost it immediately. Great job. These are non-portalable, so we have to get across this somehow. I suppose that means we have to get in from underneath, doesn't it? Does anybody like Koopa Shell puzzles? I have to kick this and drop it at the exact same time. Nope. That did not work. Mayday! Mayday! God! Why didn't that go straight through? God damn it. Winners don't do points. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. You can see I'm very good at this game. I have decades worth of experience. God damn it. Now I have to do this the hard way, which did not work out. Okay, so there's another way to do this. I'm trying to do it slick with the Koopa Shell. That's obviously not working. Why don't we just drop everybody and then hop in ourselves? That's a lot easier. There's a raining section here. You can kind of faintly see the water droplets. I don't remember this part at all. God damn it. One thing about the original Mari0 is that you can't mash the button to skip through the, skip through waiting for the loading screen. Sadly. Even the loading screen is pretty much entirely fake in this game. God damn it. I'm really good at playing this video game. So I have a lot of map packs lined up to look at today. A lot of old projects for both the original 1.6, the vanilla version of the game, and later versions called Special Edition, which both of those are before the current popular version of the game, which is called Allison's Entities. But 99% of my Mari0 work is long before Allison's Entities was part of the popular conscious. So all of this stuff is really old and not as mechanically complex as a lot of newer map packs these days tend to be. Swing across here, turn that on, now we can walk across. some neat, like, mixtures of Portal elements and Mario elements going on here. Certainly a lot cleaner than the ones in New Super Mario World. Sneak in under here. Wonder how hard that would be to do with portals, but it looks like those tiles are solid, and there's this Emancipation Grill in the way, so I think you are expected to do that by running across like I just did. I haven't seen these levels in a really long time, in case you haven't noticed. Some of these I've seen more recently than others, but for the most part, most of what we're going to be seeing today is, once again, stuff I haven't seen in 10 years or possibly more. Oh, this is interesting. Okay! Had to manage both hands to, both jump and shoot the portals at the exact right time. Epic says I'm still in tabletop role-playing game session, so I must lurk. This looks sick, though. Vaguely remember you posting about this on Twitter. I think I did go over all of my, or most of my released map packs on Twitter, that is true. But, today we are also going to be looking at a bunch of unreleased ones, I hope. Should have time for most of those. It really depends on how much time I have today, because, I wasn't expecting to do this stream today. I was expecting it to be more Frogger 2, and then there wasn't any more Frogger 2. How the fuck do I get back from here? Dying works. Dying will certainly get us back from there. Hey Marley, welcome to the stream. It's good to see ya. You're not terribly late. This is second map pack we're looking at. We're towards the end of it, and there's still a lot more to go, so I wouldn't say you've missed too much. God damn it. Okay, so something that's hard to see, especially in this level, is that there are X's going through this level of tiles that are not portalable. So these completely solid ones, we can't put portals on them. And that's gonna make it hard to stealthily sneak past all of these enemies. Like this. Have to be careful of seeing where the X's are and where we are able to portal or not. There we go, that's not so bad. Hopefully that's a checkpoint. There was absolutely no indication of whether there's a checkpoint or not in the original 1.6 unless somebody put a set of checkpoint tiles there. So I kind of just have to guess and hope that we're going the right way. Probably, like, get up there. I wonder if there's anything up over the ceiling. Probably nothing. Knowing me, there's probably nothing up here. Skip a couple Hammer Bros. Fire bar. Oh, it turns out you can skip all of that. I don't really want to. I kind of want to do it legit just to see what it's like. Hopefully the checkpoint isn't in the middle of that so we can go through the rest of it again. Yes, we can. Okay, very good. So it seems that was an intended shortcut. I wasn't sure. At the time, I was kind of averse to letting people go over the top of castles. So, most of my castles are unskippable like that, which makes this one kind of unique. Woe Zone-ass tile set. These, speckled backgrounds in the very back, the dot-looking things back there, actually are from Super Paper Mario. They're mostly from the minigames. Get out of here. So we want to sneak past these assholes. Not too bad, not too bad. This actually isn't super hard. Based on what I was looking at when we were running past it, I was expecting that to be a lot harder than it actually... Woo-hoo! Damn it. Damn it. Ah! You and your fucking fire breath. You and your inconsistent fucking fire breath. Go over the top again, just so we can go fight Bowser. Because I feel like being cheesy now. Remember playing 1.6 when I was like 9 or 10. Had no idea how to do custom tiles, so I just used the SMB tiles. A lot of people playing Allison's Entities these days also just don't know how to do custom assets or whatever, so they just use the built-in stuff, and honestly, hell yeah. I love that Allison's Entities has a whole bunch more built-in prefab stuff these days. Honestly, I think it should have more. But not a lot of people seem to be willing to work on the game these days just because Allison's burnt out on it, and most other people are willing to put up with the engine as is, and you kind of have to make something big in order to attract people, it seems. Allison was making all of these trailers at the time and all this other stuff. Nobody really wants to do that for minor releases. So, even if we could make new stuff and add it to the game, new prefabs, new quality of life stuff, it's not like it's going to particularly revive the Mari0 scene, you know? And there's usually ways of doing all the stuff that we want to add anyway. Made huge staircases and hills, looked very ugly. I mean, hey, it was fun to put together, I'm sure. Oh, there's a thing going on with the solid tiles here that I was talking about. The diagonal cuts going along. It seems there's a background effect going on with it, too. So, that looks really cool, actually. This level's theme may be subtle, and it's very castle, especially in comparison to the other very castle. They don't look particularly different. But it turns out there's a lot of thought that went into it, even if it's ended up being a very nuanced design. Nuance said, "Get deaded, Bowser!" Alright, so that is almost all that I officially released for Abstracta, but there's actually a lot of unused stuff that I wanted to look at. Here's a nighttime forest level, because every level was going to start with sort of a foresty thing. You can see I didn't get very far, but this was going to be the start of the third world. And we have to go into the editor to look at the rest of this. This is stuff I didn't release for Abstracta back in the day. Here's a desert level that I wanted to put together. You can see the pyramids look really cool, and there's going to be sandy dunes and stuff, but the background colors sort of clashed with the NES palette, so I didn't really like how it looked. And as a result, I never really got super far with it. Here's the beginning of World 4. World 4's first level was going to be a retro throwback. Kind of looks like a hot mess in the background, doesn't it? Well, if you give it a moment... And if I don't die... Wow, there's more of this level that completed than I remembered. If you give it a moment, you can see it sort of converge into the power-ups. Like, here's a mushroom and a fire flower in the background. So, it's an interesting visual effect going on, but again, it's kind of, overstimulating, and I don't know how good it looks in the long run. We got mushrooms and pipes and the usual retro throwback shit. Looks kind of neat in the style. See, I only got that much of the level done. Here it is. Convergence of power-ups. It's kind of a neat idea. What else do we got? So there was going to be 15 levels. The last castle was going to be here instead of 4-4. And then 4-4 was going to be this. There's no background here. It is entirely made up of the translucent tiles. It looks kind of like a glitchy effect. I think it's 1-2 from SMB1 backwards, it looks like? Yeah, backwards. And this was going to be some weird, like, dreamy transition into World 5. And World 5 and Beyond was going to be a hard mode. So, like, semi-remixed levels. This is where it ended. It looks like there's no way out from here. Well, maybe there is. Hold on. Let me see if I can grok what's going on here. I think the actual pipe... Yeah, it's back here, and you can see it's glitched. So the idea was that this was supposed to be a glitchy transition. And you would be able to get out from here somehow. I don't know how. Whatever. You get the idea. You get out of here, you go in the glitchy pipe, and you end up in World 5, which is... This is the only other part of it that I released. It's sort of a hard mode. You can see that... some parts of the levels have been switched out. So all this ground that was here in 1-1 is now part of the background, and these background elements that you could see in 1-1 are now part of the foreground. So, I don't actually remember that at all, so this is a really fascinating effect that I haven't seen in ages, haven't thought about in ages. Sneaking through here is now a little more deadly because of the lasers. Don't think it adds a whole lot to this still. Can we sneak out of here? Not really. Don't think I can get up there very easily. Well, hold on. What? No! Oops! Okay, so, that didn't work. Let's not get up there. There's only coins up there anyway, so, hop up over this apple tree. One of the apples is missing. One of the platforms is missing. So, like, I can't just hop up here from the edge. I have to go all the way the round. That's words. The waterfall now has fish, but only for the waterfall section, thankfully. Sneak in under here and grab a fire flower, because I get the sense we're gonna need it. Yeah, I wouldn't trust jumping on those guys from afar. Might have to, though, because I don't think a fireball's gonna reach up there. Nope. Oh, hey, there we go. There we go. Apple says, yeah, I'm missing. Sorry about that. You are the 8,404th apple in this map pack. Of course you're missing. Of course you have green username and pronoun. I don't know. Hard mode of the underground level. Let's see what's up with this one. I don't know how far I got with any of these hard mode levels. Looks like different parts of the background are missing. Different parts of the pipe so that we can get through. If the Spiny stands on that switch and you're down there, he kills you. That's great. So this is, like... You can see the through line here from here to, Retrush with its remixed levels. I don't want to use that blue gel. That's an invitation for death. You can see there's kind of a through line to the remixed levels that I did in Retrush. And what else... The other thing you're going to see throughout this stream is that I've never had a creative thought in my kidding, is that I reused a lot of concepts because I wasn't able to expand on them like I wanted to back in the day. So, a lot of what you're going to see here is the seeds of what would eventually become Retrush or Gravitas or any of my other map packs. Shoot. I died, and if you die when testing a level, checkpoints aren't respected, so great, we have to do this level again. So if I slip in under here, and the Spiny jumps on that, I die, because the door opens up. That's nice. Definitely want to avoid that, if at all possible. Music changing made me remember to point out that the music that is currently playing is from a game called Marble It Up, and the other music that was playing during the intro and will be playing in the future is from Sonic Frontiers Cyberspace levels. This time I decided to put on the DLC ones because they came out in the time that since I streamed New Super Mario World, and they are so fucking good. I could really use a mushroom. Could really use a wish right now. Wish right now. Sneak in past this asshole. There are now Spinies down here. Once again, kind of just like New Super Mario World in that regard. Marble It Up mentioned Autism Go. Yes, indeed. God damn it. Sneak in up through this pipe so that we can get out of here. There's some neat ideas going on. I kind of like this. I dig it. Ooh, yo, whoa! Okay. That was scary. We want the top of the flagpole this time. We have to portal our way up there and then make a running leap. This is going to be a kind of an interesting handover. And jumping at the right time. Oh, made it. Smooth. DLC music for Frontiers is so fucking good, unlike the DLC stages. Oh boy, the opinions have started. I haven't played them, so I wouldn't know. I haven't played much of Frontiers at all, actually. One day I will change that. This is reminding me of something terrifying. Sneak down through these vines. That cloud no longer exists. That platform does, oddly enough. Portal over here, and oh, Jesus. I don't like this! This is reminding me of something very terrifying. What the fuck? Okay, I know what I have to do here, but I don't like it. Wow. Talk about a fucking platforming challenge. Platforming challenge is hell. Platforming challenge is hell. If you play your cards right, you can do a portal momentum fling up to this platform, but I did not, and I will not, and I do not. I shall not. Don't want to go over the top because that will crash the game, LMAO. Sneak down through here so we can skip the hot air balloon. Really? What? What's that there? Huh. God! Nope. Why it crashed the game is it's stupid. So... I have to show the thing now. The game's going to crash, but if you... Not that. If you, the game is stupid, but if you go up over a laser over the top of the screen, it doesn't crash the game. Interesting. If you do it right, it does, not crash the game. What the fuck? I guess that one specifically doesn't crash the game because it isn't pointed upwards. Okay. I learned something new about that crash today. But if a laser is pointed upwards over the top of the screen and you run into that laser, it will just crash the game because it doesn't know where that laser is. It's off the top of the screen. So, I used it to block people off from going over the top of the screen long before ceiling blockers existed. Ceiling blockers were added in Special Edition. This is not Special Edition. Sadly. Get up over these clouds. Let's see if we can finish this level this time. This part terrifies me. Goodness me. I guess that block exists so that you can do that. What do you want me to do here? That, I guess. That wasn't terrible, actually. It's just a, have to... This isn't very sight-readable, you know? Insert meme here. Lots of clouds missing from this area. Terrifying, thanks! And then a bunch of enemies to kick it off at the end. That's lovely. Alright, out of here. Marley's on a watch streak. Thank you, Marley. Oh. Big stretch. Okay, so that leaves us one last level for Abstracta, which is the hard mode of the first castle. I never ended up making hard modes of the second world or beyond. I just never got that far. I wanted to make more of the regular versions of the levels. And I never got that far either. So... it is what it is. Whee! I'm up here now. I guess I didn't have to do the puzzle much after all. Wow, I hate this. This is dastardly. This fucking sucks. Please God. Now there's only that one platform here. Cool. Remember when I said you have to be, evil in order to be a level designer? At least a little bit evil? I hope you are beginning to see why. Okay, so there was a vine here in the original version of this castle. The vine is no longer here. Instead, there's that. Wanted me to climb up over this like that, which is fucking ridiculous. Now, I have to brave that with portals. Oh boy. Do not drop me directly into a portal, thank you very much. That is a faith plate. If I hit that faith plate, I'm going to be launched back. It doesn't kill me, though. It doesn't launch me into the spiny, thank God. Kind of mean. Kind of a little mean. Kind of very challenging. Fitting for a glitchy remix world, I guess. Whatever. William Frog says, Mari0. Hey, William Frog, welcome to the stream. Prinny says, definitely heard you say faith plate is Beyblade. Let her rip. Let it fly. Whatever. What's the words? Anyway, that's Abstracta. We've looked at everything. We've seen all the unused stuff. I'm still really fond of this map pack. It needs a little polishing, but a lot of really cool concepts and a lot of stuff that would stick with me into my later work. Let me pull up the list here to figure out what we're doing next. Oh boy, we're doing the Random Mappack next. Here we fucking go. So, you may be familiar with something called Cartridge Tilt, which is a big Lua script that I wrote that randomly generates a bunch of garbage Mari0 levels. That is the second time that I did such a thing, and the first time was called the Random Mappack, and it looks like this. Oh boy. So, this program I wrote literally just writes a random tile ID into every single spot in the level. So, it just looks like this. And because it's early Mari0, you can kind of just jump over most things until you get to the end. And let me show you why. Oh, Jesus. Let's not fall too far, please. Not yet. This is one of the first programs that I wrote for fun. It's written in C++ because that's what I was learning at the time. I still do C++ for work. You can see that I can't reach the flagpole from here. That is because there is an invisible line going up from the flagpole. You can't actually cross it. And that means when there's a tile blocking your way, like there almost always is in every single level of the Random Mappack, you can't just cheese it by going over the top, but you get most of the way. And then from here, you can start dropping down into the belly of the beast and sneak your way over to the flagpole. Let's see how hard it is. It's not. It is very cruel. It is very amusing. It sucks. I love it. Let's see how far we can get, because I actually only tested that the first level is completable. And I don't know the status of the goddamn it. I don't know if the rest of them are even completable. That's the best part of this map pack. It was all randomly generated, and the only thing I did was add a flagpole to the end and a Mario start marker somewhere in the level where you don't die. That's it! So, my first goal is to get up to the top. Seems we have done so successfully. And then we want to get to the end without falling all the way down into something unwinnable. I didn't show it in the first level, but it is actually possible to get stuck. There's a one tile wide gap you can fall into that has a invisible block in it, and so if you try to jump back out of it, it blocks you in, and you can't jump back out. And there's no way out from that box. So we made it to the end now, and now we have to feel our way around and find our way to the goal, because we can't just jump over the top. So, where is a good way through this? Proby says, hi, I just got here, what did I miss? You've, so far you have missed Abstracta and something called Parallax Lost, which is an unreleased map pack that, is the first level of SMB1 on the background, on the Parallax background with the... you run across it and it's really slow, it's funny. But, let's see what it takes for me to get through here. I'm going back pretty far so that I can go forwards on a lower area. I don't even know if this is possible, we're just kind of, experimenting. Let's see if I can sneak my way over here. Yep, here we go. Okay, it looks like we can kind of reach up into here. Oh! Can I reach up here? There we go! And maybe I can, yeah, here we go. God! This map pack has a certain charm to it. It's very, what the fuck am I looking at and how do I get through it? Didn't see it stream, but I remember Parallax Lost from a conversation we had. Yeah, I showed you! And, wanted to show it on stream, too. Let's see what it takes to get through here. How do we get out? Well, not through there. I wonder if I have to go to the left from where I began. I don't know if you've noticed, but it's kind of hard to tell which tiles are solid and which ones aren't. I think we've seen enough of it. 2 levels is enough for you to get an idea of what's going on here. Let me show you real quick that, I did make 32 levels of this. I did not test them all, but I generated 32 levels of this shit. So, fuck. But what I want to show you today is something that I did some, research on. Because when I was making Cartridge Tilt, I was making it as sort of a sequel to this. And when I did a little research on Cartridge Tilt itself. So let me pull it up in Alice in Zanities instead. Here is, the Random Mappack, but it looks a little different. And that's because I replaced all of the tiles with something you can actually look at. All of the blue ones are completely non-solid, all of the gray ones are solid, and all of the dark gray ones are non-portalable. So if we go into the game now, you can see it's a lot easier to look at. Part of the research I did was figuring out exactly how many tiles of each kind there were, and it turns out that 60% of the tiles in Mari0 are, what did I die to? Weird? Okay. It turns out that, 60% of the tiles in Mari0 are, non-solid, and 40% of the tiles are solid, like, exactly. I think what's going on is the original, properties of each tile are taking over, so I'm stepping on what is a, spike tile and dying. So that makes it hard to actually play this, but you can see how the, mazes resolve themselves. Like, if we look at 1-3, the way we would get out of here is by sneaking through the center and somehow portaling down here. Somehow, A, knowing to portal down here, and B, doing the deed, getting out. And, we can also see if there is a way to the flagpole, which there is. As long as you stay going over the top, you can come in from, down here. So, this is sort of a look behind the curtain of how this map pack works, and whether it works, and what I'm noticing, looking at these, is that it turns out that all of these are completable so far. That's terrifying. Don't do this to yourself. I promise you, it's not worth it. And the only one I remember being really proud of putting the starting position on is here. This is 8-4. You can see you start like this, and you have to portal your way across, and it fucking sucks. Of course it would for 8-4. Now that I think about this, what I remember is that what I tested of every single level is that you could get up to the top, and I figured that would be enough for figuring out whether each level was possible or not, and this one looks like it very much is. Drop down from up here and sneak around down through here, and that one's actually not too bad once you get out of the beginning. So that's the Random Mappack. That's the Random Mappack in a nutshell. Kind of a hot fucking mess. This is one of those maps that's only remotely playable if you're familiar with the Mari0 editor and jank custom maps to know which tiles are solid. Or if you figure it out on the fly, you know? Okay, let's see what else I have here. Let's take a look at something called Mindache. Gotta scroll all the way up through through all these other map packs that I picked up over the years. There's New Super Mario World. Hello, goodbye. Alright, here's Mindache. This is a navigational puzzle sort of map pack that I made. You can see it's very Game & Watch inspired. I didn't make these tiles. These were made by somebody called Erdobot. You can see there's sort of semi-transparent tiles here. And when you go in a pipe, the semi-transparent tiles turn on and some other ones turn off. So there's a navigational puzzle of figuring out how to get through each level. And this is long before animated tiles existed, so this was the only way I could do, like, dual state maps like this. So the way you clear this level is that you do this, and then because there's a light bridge and a laser stacked on top of each other, the laser doesn't kill you. You're standing on the hard light bridge, so now you can get over here. And with that, you can sneak over to the flag. This is one of those maps that I made early on in experimenting with, like, puzzles and what the limit of puzzles you could do in the engine was, and the way this works is that, because you're going through a pipe, each time you go through a pipe it takes you to another sub-level, and each state and each possible place you can come out of is represented by a different sub-level. So, there's a lot of very similar sub-levels in the editor if you go look at that. Don't. Use a light bridge to get into this pipe, and then you do it again up here. Just sneak right into the pipe, slip right across, now you're on the other side. Kind of nonsense solution, to be honest. Like, you could know, but it just looks like a laser. Yeah, I wish it looked like a light bridge rather than looked like a laser, but I can't control this game's sprite layering. Britton says, this is shockingly similar to an idea I had really early 18 called Neon, where you turn on or off platforms. Great minds think alike. If we have enough time to get to my special edition stuff, you will see that I did something like that back then, too. Something along this line and along the lines of what you just said a moment ago. So, now what? We've got a loop going on here. You go in that pipe, come out of this one. Go in this pipe, come out of that one in the corner. Now what do you do? So, I think if I remember this correctly, all you have to do is just, sneak out by coming out in this state. That's really it. The hard light bridges aren't used for anything here. I think there's a way to come out of the other pipe, with a light bridge and just end up dying, which is kind of funny, but, let's see here. Going in this pipe takes us out of the top pipe. Interesting. That means going in this pipe... No, that doesn't do anything. I can't tell which of these are linked up to what. Fascinating. I think they're counterclockwise, so if I go in this pipe, it should take me out of the top one here. Yep, counterclockwise. Don't know how you're supposed to know that. I mean, I guess I figured it out. Whatever. Gotta think with portals. The old hard light bridge grate trick. Yep. I was probably one of the earliest pioneers of such a thing. So we've made it to World 2, and now every level has 3 states rather than 2. So if I go in this pipe here, moves the bricks up to the top, and then if we do it again, moves the bricks down a layer. The bricks move down 1 every time you go through a pipe. So, how do we get out of this? This state, I think, doesn't matter. I think we want to end up above this set of bricks when it comes down. And when we went through the bottom pipe over here, it just takes us to where we began, right? Well, now we use a light bridge to head into the pipe, and it should take us to the one over the top, yes. Kind of some leaps of logic as far as which pipes go where, but, it is at least possible to get to the end every time. Pipes links are not well communicated at all, that is true. Pretty sure the portal map pack does the bridge grate thing. I'm sure. Makes sense to me. This is a weird one. Looks like you could get to the end somehow if you could get up here and then get across, but this is all non-portalable. The squares are non-portalable tiles. So now we go in the pipe and we come out here. Exactly where the pipe was. So from here on, it starts to be slightly better communicated. Sadly, I cannot get up over this in one jump. But we can do this. Or more practically, probably this. Sneak into the pipe here, and now we are on this third state. And now we can get a big jump and portal on top of that platform. There we go. And that's just a triple state puzzle of trying to figure out which one lets you get to the flag. You could cheese a lot of these, absolutely. I think some of the more cheesable ones, the flagpole gets disabled when you're not on the correct ending, like this one. Sneak into this pipe, takes us across. Yeah, these pipes go across. Each entrance goes to the next entrance. This is sort of a bigger version of the second level that we did. Actually, I think this one can just be, yeah, I think we can just go across here, and now we start doing what we need to do. We get up here, and start taking the top pipes as they take us across. Get in the top pipes, we can do this, the other way. Kind of strange use of, hard light bridges going on here, especially for getting into the pipes. It's very, very non-intuitive. A lot of this is very non-intuitive. Cool in concept, at least. The aesthetic is cool, but not very readable. It feels like it was made for architecture, where you can infer where things are supposed to be, like where pipes stick out of the ground, etc. Yeah, it's... You can tell this is one of my earlier map packs. Just sort of trying things and seeing how it works out. So here's a good old three-tier maze. Have to figure out which pipes go where. You are of course not told this until you go through the pipe. So let's try the other pipe now, because that gets us a little deeper into the maze, it seems. Yeah, I don't know how I was supposed to know I was coming out of this pipe, but it seems like you're just supposed to learn it as you go. Question mark. Actually, I think going back in this pipe is the solution. Sure enough. Unsurprising. Not intuitive, but cool in concept. Describes a lot of 1.6 map packs. It absolutely does. You are absolutely correct about that. So now we are at World 3. And World 3 is unique because the state of the entire level does not change anymore. Instead, what happens is you go down a pipe, and one thing changes. So this pipe moved across to the other side. We go down this pipe, and it moves across to the other side, and now we can reach the pipe up on the top. Going in it moves it across to the other side again. And now, doing this, we can build a pipe staircase all the way across. This is probably the best implemented world of this map pack, if I had to rate it as such. It's also probably the easiest. But then says if it does look cool with some more readable puzzles, it'd be neat. It's fun as a historical thing, but definitely way too confusing. Here's another one of these pipe mazes. That's lovely. Normally don't use portal stuff in my map packs because Maro go wahoo, not how solve puzzle. It's definitely a very polarizing concept for a lot of people. So we go in this pipe. It inverts just this left side of the screen. We go in this pipe, and it inverts just this middle section of the screen. So now we have to put it together so that we can get in the pipe in the box here. You can see that's the one that would lead us to the end, if we could get there. But we have to figure out how to get there. Do this and close this out. Well, shoot. I think I need to undo this one, because we could get across without doing this one. Yes, indeed. Use this to get across again. That opens up the path to the pipe that we need to take. Now we just need to take the path. So this is a maze where you only switch out pieces and parts of it at a time, which I think is a really cool concept. Sneak into the pipe now, and we're good. animated tiles do exist now, it'd probably work well. It'd probably work a lot better with region triggers or buttons or something, yeah. Can't see which blocks will vanish between states, only which ones appear. That's definitely a limitation of the tile set that I used, which, like I said, I didn't make it. I didn't know how to make it so that you could see which things were going to vanish in the next state. Especially for something like this puzzle. We go in the pipe. It turns off that pipe and the 2 pipes around it. What we have to do is turn off all the pipes so that the laser goes all the way across and opens the door. Go in this pipe. It wraps around, so the pipe that was furthest from this one turns on when I go through it. Hard to explain. This is one of those press a button and all the buttons around it turn on type puzzles. It's neat that I built that out of, like, sub-levels, I guess. A ton of maps do that. The lights out puzzle. Yeah, that's what it's called. And then there's this ending. Which isn't really a level, so much as it is an aesthetic choice. This is based on something that I saw on a website once, a Mazes website, where you could fine-tune the size of the maze, and it would follow a specific pattern. And this level, just each time you go through a pipe, it downsizes the maze. So this is the canon ending, but there's more. Are there 16 rooms in that level? I think there are, yes. There are definitely 16 rooms in the one that we're going to get to. Yeah, that level was basically the credits. So, beyond here are levels that were taken out of this map pack. Some of them were cut because it's possible to get stuck in some way. 4-4 is just straight up not completable. We'll see why in a minute. That's just an explainer. The canon ending and the canon ending, like the new Super Mario Bros. Canons that shoot you to somewhere else. Yes, and yes. Yes. Okay, so this was, in the very first demo I put out of this map pack, this was 1-3. So, this first level is a dual state level, and I'm trying to remember exactly what the deal with this one was. You have to get up over this light bridge. That's all I remember about it. I think you can just do this with the light bridge itself and just hop over, yeah. Drop down in the pipe and you're on the other side now. The reason this one got axed is because it is... Why don't I just show you? If I can get back. Oof. Yes, I can get back. The reason this one got cut is because it was possible to get stuck down here on the left, and I put these bricks there in order to make it not possible to get stuck in the version that I released. Other than that, this is just kind of a level with a strange solution that you have to use a light bridge to jump over a light bridge that looks like it's coming from nowhere. You can't use this light bridge because it is actually facing the opposite direction. So that's a very strange solution that I didn't want to lean into. Bridge is coming from the top, how could you know that? Exactly, that's why this level got axed. So here's a level that I deemed too similar to another one, and possibly too easy. This was supposed to be the last level of the World 2, the 3 states level. I don't know which pipes go where. I could not possibly tell you which is which. I think the reason it got axed is because right at the beginning, when you go in through the first pipe, you can just go back through the first pipe again and it takes you to the end. Not a particularly fascinating level. The flagpole is just there to transition to 4-4. I've been doing a lot of talking. I need to slurp some water. Slurp, slurp. Okay, so this is the level that I said wasn't completable at all. This is the lights out puzzle, but significantly worse. Each time you go in a pipe, it turns off some other pipes. Or on. You don't know which ones they are. You sort of develop a pattern for it as you go. So this is going to turn on the last two. The reason this got axed and isn't completable is that the pipes that each one can turn on and off actually don't correspond with a possible solution. So there's no way for the stairs to turn on and no way for the flagpole to turn on. It seems this pipe just turns this pipe on and off. That's weird. Going back thing is kind of nonsense. I never like AA maps that do this with doors. Yeah. Again, there's a reason these levels were cut. So this takes us back to this room, which this one will just turn this on. So we've seen everything there is to see in Mindache. I wanted to do a lights out puzzle that was more complicated, and then it wasn't, so I just did a regular lights out puzzle, and that was that. And that's Mindache. It's a neat concept, it's got a good visual style, it's just not very intuitive at all. It's kind of like a little too fuck your brain up, a little too I'm not going to explain myself and you have to figure out what's going on. Good luck, idiot. Idiot! Alright, let's look at a couple of unreleased things, because I have a lot of that. First, we have to scroll all the way back up through all of this, other nonsense that other people have made. Mostly good maps, I promise. So here's something called Bowser's Castle. Peach isn't here. Are you still brave enough? This was unfinished. It was supposed to be one single, like, big finale Bowser's Castle. The reason this exists is that I was not satisfied with the ending of New Super Mario World. You'll remember that last castle was extremely a cop-out, and it's because I ran out of time. Actually, it's for a number of reasons, but the biggest reason is that I ran out of time. So instead, I decided that I wanted to make a standalone Bowser's Castle and make it as cool and unique as I possibly could. So this looks kind of weird, right? You go in the pipe and the whole fucking room rotates. So that's the concept for this Bowser's Castle, is that each time you go through a pipe, the entire castle rotates around. You would later see this used in Zelda, which we'll get to another day. Like I said, that map pack is far too big. Here's a W made out of blocks. Gee, I wonder who made this. Certainly couldn't have been my alter ego WillWare. But every single one of these rooms is designed to be gone through in different rotations, so that's why some things look a little weird. But it kind of also has that same, like, vibe of that one level of SMB3 where there's fireballs coming from the top and bottom of the screen. Ow. This level doesn't have checkpoints because it couldn't have checkpoints, because back in the day, 1.6 mapping was just like that, where, for some reason, checkpoints and sublevels didn't work. And the entire reason this map pack works is because you keep going through sublevels to see the room rotate. Reminds me of the NSMB rotating room, but, like, not as good. Oops, I accidentally quit out of the entire game. Yeah, it was definitely aping that. It was an attempt at making that in the engine. Obviously, I couldn't make it exactly in the engine, and you can see I only got 2 rooms deep. So, like, if I went in this pipe, it would take us nowhere anyway. We saw the whole thing. I thought I actually got more of this in. But it was supposed to be that, when you got all the way around once, it would flip over and you'd do every single room again, upside down. So then you'd do this again, but the other way. You'd go through this pipe and you'd go around this way upside down as well. And that's why these things are designed like this. This flips over to an M, and now you have to navigate it the opposite way. All the spinies get stuck in the bottom here, so you have to portal them out. Then you have to portal your way across this. Maybe there would be a platform here or something. So that's the idea behind that map. It was to make up for the fact that New Super Mario World didn't have a good Bowser Castle. Which, fine, whatever. Here's another interesting concept. This is a Minecraft map pack, so we're gonna go turn on the cheat. Because everybody and their mother has made, or attempted to make one of these, and I am no exception. I am not immune to Minecraft map pack. So we're going to use the Minecraft mode, and we're going to go and build a, how do I place bricks again? Is it E? Is it R? Is it shit? I don't actually remember how to place bricks anymore. Oops. Oh, there we go, there we go. Yeah, I just needed to be in the right spot, and I wasn't. So now we can mine this and get through here, and, can mine a question mark block to put it in this spot, or at least that's the intent, yep. And then we can mine these out and hit this brick for a mushroom. Which, that's kind of a neat concept, mining a question mark block and putting it in a spot, which probably every other Minecraft map pack did, but I just never used... I never played them, so I never figured out. These are all going to have coins in them, I think. I need to place a block so they can reach. Yeah, these all have multi-coins in them. It seems I did more of this map pack than I thought, actually. Mine this cube out. Place the cube. Now we have to mine a spiny out. There we go. Mine the spiny out in a way that makes it so that he can't drop on us. There we go. So you can kind of see where this was going. What is going on here? I'm very curious about this now. I don't remember this far in the map pack at all. So why don't we see what's going on? Mine through these bricks. Brown bricks, Minecraft, etc. We want this, green block in the center. I don't know what the green block was supposed to do. It was probably supposed to have something specific in it, but that is not possible in this game's engine. Or something that isn't possible in this game's engine. It isn't possible, we just saw it. So we put all that down, and then we go and mine this out, if possible. Keyword being if. Then we see what's inside. A vine! Okay, so that actually is pretty cool. I got a lot farther with this than I thought I did. Holy shit. This is neat. If I could just place a goddamn block. If I could just have the right block selected, that would be the smart way to do it. There's a surprising amount to this map pack. I don't remember getting this far with it. Holy shit. I thought I only made the first little, like, room, and then didn't do anything else with it. So I'm actually floored that there is this much to it. I'm trying my damnedest to place blocks. There we go. Now we go in the pipe like this. Could just use a regular question mark block. You absolutely could. You didn't need to use the green one. The green one was just there to show you that you could do it that way. What's going on here, I wonder? So obviously we want to reach that door. I don't know what the egg is. Egg! All we get is an egg and a couple of question mark blocks. So I think the idea here is you drop down. This is resource management. We want to get up on top of here. There we go. Sneak back on top of here again. Yeah, welcome to Minecraft. We're doing this again. Nobody would make them because it's twice as much work and it's already a lot of work. Yeah, it's... Okay. There is a door there. Okay. That takes us to World 2-1! What the fuck? I really thought there was only one level. Why is there so much of this? I'm floored! I thought there was, like, a room of a level. I didn't remember getting this far in it at all. I actually genuinely tried to make a fucking Minecraft map pack. And there's this much of it. Even I don't remember my own history at this point. This is going to be challenging. There we go. We could just do that, I guess. Mine our way through this, pipe. Each individual type of pipe counts as a different tile taking up our space. Do the Minecraft thing of sneaking as far as you can in order to place a block sideways like that. Oh, right, I'm out. Duh. Okay. Mine through here. This looks to be the end of it. No? No, it isn't. There is always more. There is constantly more. There never stops being more. Oh, this is kind of neat, actually. So the idea here is resource management of this one platform. Or, oh, it actually falls all the way through. Bring this all the way across. No? Just trying to figure out what's going on here. I think you are expected to be small here, and that is not working. The fact that these emancipation grills are in the way is making it impossible for me to reach it. I could just break that. Oops. That's what that's for. I'm thinking with portals! I'm thinking with Minecraft! I'm gaming. How much more of this is there? This much more, apparently. What? Okay, so... Now what? I can't pick these up because they just drop off. Can do this, I guess. Yeah, here we go. Why is there so much of this? What the fuck? Punch the brick. Yes, I didn't look at chat. I was too busy being enamored by whatever is going on here. My sincerest apologies. Minecraft items are actually non-physical and have fake physics code programmed into each of them individually. I love this stupid fucking video game. Mari0 truly is the video game of all time. Spent so many hours with this shit. As did most of us here, I think. Tear all this down so that we can build it up again. We're gonna build it backwards and it's gonna look like shit. Now we can finally place this. And dig our way back up to, reaching it. This is insane. I don't remember making this much of this. At all. What the fuck? Minecraft mode is made as well as it can be. I love it dearly. Minecraft mode exists. You can see I'm very fond of it, apparently. Shoot, now what? Oh no. Oh no, I have a bad idea. So I don't need to recreate this platform exactly where it was. Obviously I didn't make these tiles, by the way. These are made by a person whose name escapes me. Probably... I don't know, actually. Somebody named DY, I think, who has probably also changed their name since then. Many, many times. Originally known as Spriter Drag. I don't know much about this person. I'm pretty sure they've changed their name since those two names as well. But, wow, there's a lot to that map pack. There's a surprising amount to that map. Why is there so much? This is the map pack you should have used the Mindache tile set in. That would have actually been really cool. There's enough to that I might release it, just as a, hey, here's something I apparently made a lot more of than I remembered and never finished. Here you go, have fun. Minecraft mode. Please enjoy. Okay, so that's Breakthrough. There's way more of that than I remembered. As far as released stuff goes, we're gonna go have a look at Tribute, which is my real, actual take on SMB1. SMB1's level design specifically. My goal here was to make a whole Mario 1 inspired adventure in one level. This entire level is 1,000 blocks wide. I need to not be in Minecraft mode. Oops. No, play that with Minecraft mode. It'll be fun. I promise. No, this entire level is 1,000 blocks wide, and as you go, it starts looking more and more like later levels of Mario. There are alternate paths through the underground or the overworld. It's my version of a design study on Super Mario Bros. 1's level design. So everything here is inspired by something that I directly looked at from Super Mario Bros. 1 or Lost Levels. It was this movie was made by the directors who saw Shrek. That's the takeaway. Let's see if we can find one of those alternate routes. I think I passed one already. I think I passed the first underground route, so incoming should be an underwater route, which will take us past this shit. Yeah. So the underwater route will take us under this athletic area. We can take this instead. So it's just a really long SMB1-like, and honestly, I think it still holds up pretty decently for being that. ROM hack-ish. Maybe not as interesting as a lot of ROM hacks, but it's something neat, at least. It's neat to look at. Neat to look back at as far as a, design retrospective of how I learned how to make levels. And one of those ways was that I just studied SMB1 and Lost Levels to see why those games are the way they are. I'm running past all of this because of Lakitus. This one platform doesn't look anywhere at all out of place, but there's a one up there. Don't ask. Don't ask why I remember either. God damn it, Lakitu. Always throwing those fucking spinies. God damn you. The other thing about this map pack is that the seasons change as you go. It starts out in spring, then moves to summer, and now it's fall. You can tell because there's orange clouds, and fences, and orange pipes. And before long here, we're going to reach winter. Probably right after this bridge. Because of course there is a flying fish bridge. Why wouldn't there be? It's SMB1. At least he didn't try to make SMB but it's one level and realize one world in the game is not designed to have 32 levels in one map. I really feel for that person. I hope they at least learned something out of the experience of making it. That's really all that... Look, what's more important about making map packs in Mari0 for me, and all of the stuff that I made, isn't the fact that all of it is well-designed or whatever. Mindache clearly isn't. Instead, it's the process of being a creator and learning how to make something that's fun or unique or, you know, well-scoped. So, in that sense, we could say that the person's, all of SMB1 in one level is a success in that it was too big for them, and they couldn't finish it. And they learned something from the experience, and maybe they learned about how these levels are designed, too. In their own way. God damn it. Anyway, we've made it to winter. Was that you? I thought that was somebody else. That person, actually like 10 people. Yeah, that was several people, wasn't it? I'm thinking of one in particular that I actually got decently far, though. I know that was tried even as far back as Special Edition when it added height to maps. It's really hard to stand out these days, I get it. Well, here's the deal. These are more a design exercise for the creator rather than standing out. When Allison's Entities came out, it was a lot easier to design something that was, like, mechanically unique, even for Mario, even for games as a whole. Fucking Bullet Descent is a good example of that. But, back in the day, these types of map packs were more designed for the creator to learn something, and for a player to get a decent experience out of, you know. Any given map pack on the forums from the 1.6 days is a solid 7 out of 10. Some more aggressive than others. What is going on with some of these stacks of enemies? Magic Pillow says, my Mari0 levels walked so that my Mario Maker levels could walk slightly faster. Yeah, exactly, you put it quite well. Even Mario Lander, especially Mario Lander. Mario Lander is the most aggressive 7 out of 10 on the forums, period. Actually, it might be closer to a 6 out of 10. Sometimes I wish Mario Maker 2 was easier to design levels in, because I'd love to make things like this, but I'm too lazy. Yeah, absolutely understandable. And part of the reason why a lot of big map pack projects drop off is because it is very long, a lot of hours invested to make something, even relatively simple. So, I don't know how long it took me to make this, probably like a week of working on it every evening, let's say. But, that barrier of entry has gotten exponentially harder with all this custom assets, custom enemies, people making their own tile sets and backgrounds and all this other stuff. So, if you want to make something that stands out from the crowd, you have to put in hours of effort. Not everybody has the time or patience for that. I wouldn't mind seeing more people just making stuff for the sake of making stuff rather than, Really? 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 I seem to recall that was an accident, that I put a hidden block on both sides of that platform and forgot that it could be bonked into by some players. It wasn't supposed to be a Kaizo block. I don't think. No, there is actually not one on the other side either. No, that's how you get up here. Shit. But there's also another way up there by just jumping from the... God... Young me, come on. Come the fuck on, young me. Not every day that you get to see a Koopa shell mow down through a piranha plant. Well, maybe it happens more often these days. We're starting to get more blatantly into stuff that isn't necessarily in old versions, in old level designs from Mario 1 and beyond. It's starting to take more of my own flavor again, and that's because it's starting to get harder. If you do it right and the Koopa shells don't run into each other and cancel out, you can get a 1-up from all of the enemies there. I need that mushroom, and I'm probably going to lose it immediately to this fucking Koopa shell. This death trap I laid for myself. There we go. I want to get you out of here so that I don't have to listen to you anymore. Goodbye. And then to top it all off is something that happens in Lost Levels, where you are expected to jump up to that platform where there's a vine, and I forgot about that. I was expecting there to be a Koopa that you have to bounce off of. Thankfully, there is a checkpoint right here. Now we're in the Lost Levels zone. Basically, yes. It's almost exactly the case. There we go. And the vine takes you up and out of a, let's call it a castle maze. And up to the clouds, where it's the end of Tribute. Still a cute little map pack, and by map pack I mean still a cute little level 1 singular map. Alright, so I didn't see all of the alternate routes, so let's hop in and go and look at those for a bit. Because they're all unique in their own ways. Let's hop into the first underground section. This is early on in the level, so this is still relatively easy. You can see this first section is very, very incredibly inspired by the first section of 1-2. And then things start to get a little more interesting. No, this is still 1-2. Whatever. There's just a platform there. Okay. There's nothing up on top of or beyond any of the underground sections. There's no warps because there's nothing to warp past. It's just, different sublevels. We saw this underwater section already. We went through it. Here's another underground section. It starts by teaching you how to run. You can kick this across. I think you can get a 1-up out of it. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe even 2. The platforms that everybody loves. You can hop up over this, technically. I think it would have been neat if I hit a vine in here somewhere. Oh, there's nothing there. A vine that takes you directly to the clouds so that you can end the levels secretly from this area might have been neat. But I don't think I did any such thing. In fact, let me check. There's a 1-up there, but no, I did not. There's a 1-up there, too. How are you supposed to know? Whatever. And then there's another underwater section. There's 2 underground sections and 2 underwater sections to break up the monotony of going through an overworld, in case you decide you want to take an alternate route. God. I fucking hate squids. Squids are so awful and evil, and I hate them, and they're terrible. And Splatoon is a very good game, with very evil creatures. Oops. Sneak through there. Yeah, that's it. That's tribute for you. What else can we look at? We've been at this for almost 2 hours. Here we go. Here we go. Here's something that should be interesting to a lot of people. This is an interesting slice of Mari0 history. This is something called We Need to Go Deeper. It is a collaboration map pack by a lot of the biggest players in the Mari0 scene at the time. It was never released, but a demo was released of World 1, and World 1's levels were my levels. It's supposed to start with a faith plate moment, but it seems like the faith plate moment has desynced, because it works differently on every single computer, and, wow, it worked then, almost. Duff. I did not make these tiles, I did not make these backgrounds, these were all made by, various community members. This was a, the person who set this in motion was a forum member by the name of Mr. Cytosine. Don't know where he is or what he's doing these days. He's never popped in on the Discord or anything. So, wherever you are, I hope you're doing wonderful out there, Mr. Cytosine. I hope you are living your best life. But we'd love to see you again one day. So, We Need to Go Deeper is a concept map where you begin in space, and with each world you get closer to the core of the Earth. So, you start in space, then there's a sky level, and then there's a ground level, underwater trench level, then deep caves, and then the actual molten core of the Earth. You can see that World 1 of We Need to Go Deeper definitely has my design style to it. There's a lot of mix of SW1 and Portal elements in weird, wacky ways. Getting that flagpole involves starting with the faith plate and then bouncing across those blue gels. But these are already sky levels, badum-tis. Yes, yes, indeed, yes. Yes, well, at the time they were not... there was no such thing as sky levels, except for the actual sky levels. These were Will levels, the Will worlds. This is interesting for me to look back at because, like Abstracta and Breakthrough especially, I haven't seen these in ages. You can see these are solid. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with this. Some sort of just space grate. Whatever's going on there. I think I just wanted to use all the tiles that were available to me in the tile set that somebody else kindly made for me. Use that faith plate to hop up here, because there's no other way up there, I don't think. You can portal across... No? No, the asteroids are not portalable. Space shuttles. Landers, rovers, space junk. Another instance of this, which is like the 500th time I've done something like that with the Koopa shell. Something tells me I should not have had a mushroom going into this. So now we are headed through the asteroid belt. I can break these, that's something. Yeah, this isn't so bad. I just need to not die. Obviously. Oops, can't quite get back up there. That's sad. Oh well. I wonder where Will went. Hope she's doing okay. I hope so too. She's back there in the brain somewhere, just sort of lounging around. There's another Greats level. There's a door closed. You don't know how to get through it until you come back here and look up here and see among all of this very incredibly visually overstimulating section that there's a cube there. Now what? What? What was that? It opened. Oh, I understand what's going on here. So we wait for this, and then we drop that. We can even put it a little closer so that it keeps the spinies away. There we go. Fucking weird puzzle. Another one of these. Open all the buttons in the right order. Right, left, middle. Let the cube through. Something very, very similar happened in New Super Mario World. I'm sure many of you remember. The person who made the tile set specifically requested that I put coins in the red question mark blocks and power-ups in the yellow ones. So that is what I did with this. There were no background tiles. Or, there was no background tile layer in 1.6, so all the places where there are asteroids here just sort of collapse. I probably should have kept those around so that I could jump up on here. Oops. 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 Now what? Oh. Right. Momentum. That's a thing. Put that on the back of the box. Momentum. It's a thing. So which of these is the real one? Fascinating. It's the bottom one. Cool. Nice and easy. Move on. There's a planet made out of whatever this is. With a path through the middle. This is a unique looking layout, actually. I kind of like it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. What the fuck? What was I doing with this? Well, that's unnecessarily rude all at once. Oh, and you start all the way back here. Ouch. Okay. Let's try that again. I guess that's not too far. I don't want to drop down there, 'cause then I can't get out. Run across here, hop through the planetoid. Don't lose my power-up because I kind of need it. This time we know what we're getting ourselves into. And I still run off the cliff anyway! Great! I love this level! This is fantastic! Don't asteroids not being portable make no sense because isn't space dust used to make the portable things? No, it's just moon rock. Interesting. So there's like lore there that I was not aware of. There are other portable things like that aren't moon rock, like the 50s plywood walls. I forgot the portal lore was long and complicated. There we go! Christ alive! That faith plate just launches you into space. Cool. Portal lore is funky. I believe it. Also, either the spaceships are tiny or Mario's fucking massive. It's Frogger logic. Car as big as Frog, you understand. Good old platforming challenge. Good old portaling challenge. I'm going to shave Mario's mustache off his head if I'm not careful here. Desperately do not want to run into the lasers. Don't know if you've noticed by now, but the lasers are in fact deadly. So this is sort of a combination portal and platforming puzzle type beat. It's highly experimental and maybe not great, but it was at least an attempt to make something unique out of this game's engine. How am I supposed to get up off of that? That's terrifying. Like, off of this. That's terrifying. Uh-oh. Mario, I hope you don't need that mustache or that hat, because I think you're about to lose it. Woo! Yeah, no. That's really mean. What the fuck? Run across this. Okay, wow. There's a lot going on here. And we made it. We're alive. Amazing how that works. I did something very similar to this in New Super Mario World as well. Most of y'all have seen it. Lord, please tell me I don't have to do all of that again. No, thank God. I was nice enough to put a checkpoint at the boss. Out of here. So if I time my jump right, I will land right on the Koopa and get the top of the flag. Almost. And that faith plate is how you drop down closer to the surface of the planet. After that would be the Sky World, but I don't think it was ever finished, and if it was certainly never released. We'll see what exists of it here. Yeah, there's nothing here. I have to quickly pause the game for the split second that Mario is alive. Why 2 Earths? Yeah, they were talking about that in the forum thread, just the way the parallax worked out. Made it look like there was 2 Earths. God. How do I pause this video game when the game pauses itself and I can't pause the paused? Okay. So, to my knowledge, there was a lot of other work done on this map pack, and I don't have any of it, sadly. That was all being coordinated by Mr. Cytosign, who did not release any of the collection to my knowledge. If he did release it to somebody, I don't have it. The one thing I do have is some attempts at a World 3, which is the city world, the Smog City. Once I did World 1, and everybody else was taking their sweet time with the rest of the worlds, and nobody had picked up World 3, I was like, okay, I can take on another world. So I started doing World 3, and never really got super far with it. second one isn't Earth, it's planet Ground. I legit didn't know you made the first world till now. I made the first world, and I was slated to make the third world as well. I didn't get very far with it, as you can see. Other people made the second, fourth, fifth, and sixth worlds. I believe Justin was supposed to make the fourth world, but nobody ever made the tiles for him to make the fourth world. And tiles or backgrounds. So this is just showing off the art. Here's a Ouija graffiti. Ouija time. It seems that's the only graffiti. That's okay. This reminds me a lot of, this reminds me a lot of, Bishop Runner, actually, the grungy city world at the end. And here's, World 5. This is just a test for the backgrounds. Here's a gray, brown, then World 6, which seems I do have some of. Somebody made some of this. Why don't we check it out, then? I didn't make these, somebody else made these. I didn't get to work on World 6, but it seems like World 6 was finished early enough that somebody handed it off to me, and I didn't get any of the rest of it, even though I know for a fact that, World 2 was worked on, at least. I'm a little sad that a lot of this is lost history, because, Mr. Cytozyne liked to host all of his screenshots on PhotoBucket, and PhotoBucket kind of went to shit and back, so most of those are pretty well nuked. So, that's really sad news, but, the other thing is that Mr. Cytozyne isn't with us anymore on the forums. He hasn't showed his face in literal years, so I don't know if he still has any of that stuff. Let's, hop into the sub level here and do this proper. I don't know if he still has any of this, or if it got lost in a, hard drive incident, or if he gave it to anybody else. Most of this is just lost history, so I'm glad I could show you at least what little I have of it. Jump before that this time. If you walk right off the edge, you lose all your momentum when you jump. It's fucking silly. Can't even access your PhotoBucket account without paying anymore. It's pretty much extortion. What the fuck? That's awful. Want to make a collab map pack at some point, but it's hard to get something everyone finishes. Yeah, it was hard even back in the day. You can see this one was ambitious and got pretty far, but didn't get far enough. And it looks like 6-1 is the only one that was ever actually finished. You would come out here, do some funny platforming, hop across these flat areas, faith plate across. It's at least not too terribly off from what I made, so this was kind of just the style of making things at the time, was to just randomly throw portal elements in with platforming elements. Mine was maybe a little too, claustrophobic. Even one-person map packs aren't usually finished. That's the other thing, yep. Projects get so big in scope these days, and even back in the day sometimes, that it's hard to finish all of it. There's so much that you want to or could add to it that's just, it's hard to finish collab map packs like this. It's a crying shame, really. And I don't know if we'll ever see what else exists if we need to go deeper, but I at least showed you what I have. So what else do we have here? We've done We Need to Go Deeper. Very few people know this, but I actually had a collaboration map pack of my own for a little while there. Zelda 2. I wanted to recreate Zelda 2 in the Mari0 engine. This is not Gravitas. This is probably where I had the Gravitas tile set from, though. This is just recreating the dungeons in the, Mari0 engine. The original Mari0 engine, which means we didn't have height maps. We didn't have, like, fancy doors or anything. We only had pipes, and we only had so many things to work with. No custom enemies, so I didn't add any. No keys, and so you walk all the way over here, you hit this switch, now you can walk all the way back, and that door at the right was open. God damn it. This is gonna take way too long to actually show in full legitimately, so I'm not going to. I don't actually think this is fun, and I can kind of see why it fizzled out nearly immediately. But going back to the right, that switch will open this door. Bullet bills in place of some of the enemies that spawn here endlessly. That pipe takes you to that room. These pipes take you through here. I think these pipes go in a rotation instead of having platforms up and down. Ferry, star instead of a ferry. Button over there for some reason. Here's the funny bridge that disappears. You step on a switch and there's only so much time. I don't remember what the point of that was, what the point of stopping the center was or anything. Grabbing the pea bag, I know I was trying to recreate that. Here would be 2 items, and that would give you your fire flower, and you were expected to keep that the whole time. Then once you had your fire flower, you would come up to the upper floor, and... Are these non-portable? No, they are portable. Why are they black? Whatever. Head up through here, break through these bricks with Koopas. This doesn't seem very fun. Hammer Brothers. It's nearly fucking impossible to translate Zelda 2 into the style of Mari0, so it didn't really go anywhere. But I did try to turn this into a community map for no specific reason. And defeating Bowser walks you across here. There's a toad here, so there's faith plates to bounce you up over the platforms. And there's also whatever this is, which is apparently a room that you never have to go into even once. There's a 1-up back here. Cool. Alright. Well, whatever. Seems I only made that and the first opening temple area of each temple, so that's as far as this ever got, but I did try to turn it into a community map pack, and nothing ever came of it, and fine. This might be cool in AE these days, but I doubt it. The styles of gameplay are too completely conflicting. Apple says, this doesn't seem fun, quote-unquote, and then says, biblically accurate Zelda 2. You didn't have to drag it that far through the mud. Alright, what else do I have on my list? We've been going at this for 2 hours. So here's the deal. Today, we're probably only going to be able to make it through all of my 1.6 projects. Next time we do this, let me double check my list of these. No, we can actually get to everything today. Almost everything I made for Special Edition was mostly concept maps or just like a couple of screens or something to just try something out. So it'll mostly just be once we get there, it'll mostly just be showing you what the concepts were and talking about them, and that's going to be significantly faster than all the rest of the stuff I've shown. All the stuff I made for 1.6 was significantly more complete. I don't know if you've noticed. But by the time Special Edition rolled around, things were just getting too complicated and too long to actually make something of substance. So I would come up with ideas and then not follow through with them. Speaking of Zelda 2, here's Gravitas. Everyone knows Gravitas. I'm probably not going to show all of Gravitas, but this is the original version before I updated it, because I didn't actually update the 1.6 version. So this is the old Gravitas and everything that entails, including some very silly puzzles that I really don't think I need to catalog much of what was different about it. You were either there and played it, or you could still play it because all of those links are still up and around. I made damn sure of that. Always want my history to be... What? I can't even complete it for you if I wanted to, because the faith plate that is supposed to disappear here, this one, isn't. So that's nice. No, I did not mean to keep doing it. How did you make it so Mario can't jump? Let me show you. So, this is 1.6. There are no events, no animations, no way to disable jumping, there are no custom enemies, there are none of that. Instead, what I did to make it so that you can't jump is a bunch of these. These down arrows are a combination of collision and invisible tile. And what it does is, when you are playing the game, they turn invisible because they're invisible, and they have collision because they're collision. But because of the way the invisible tile property works, the collision only works from the bottom. So you can only fall through one way, and you can just walk across. So it's an interesting tile trick that carried an entire map pack and another way of me exploring my portal map mazing nonsense. And I'm still really proud of this one. This is one of the latest map packs I made for 1.6. This was right around the turn of 2013, 2014. I wanted to finish it by New Year's 2014, and I was about a week past that when I finally released it, so I'm still really proud of this one. There's a lot of puzzles that don't work anymore, you can see that, but also some puzzles that are too hard, that shouldn't be that hard. There's a lot of weird technical shit with these tiles, like, because they're collision, light bridges can't go through them, so anywhere there's light bridges, the tiles don't exist, but it's not like you can jump up into those anyway, so you could never tell the illusion was there. Koopas would Red Koopas would not turn around on cliffs if there were these tiles here. They would just walk off because they would see this as a tile with collision. So, there's no stopper here, and you can't jump into it to figure that out anyway. You could jump in front of the statues because they are in the foreground blocking all of these tiles. Anytime I wanted to edit the level, I would, how did I do this? I would hold E and erase, and then I would start editing the level, and then when I was ready to go, I would go back into the tile set, find my stopper, hold E, put everything down. And that's how I worked on it. And, it seems that I've broken some of these. Yeah. There we go. So, you couldn't run across one tile-wide gaps with these stoppers there either, so I had to come up with replacements. Anyway, you understand. I'm returning to menu and not saving that. Invisible blocks on every tile that aren't coin blocks. It's a fascinating, thing. It's a fascinating little way of messing with the game's properties to make something custom out of stuff that wasn't supposed to be custom. 1.6 didn't have custom content at all outside of backgrounds and tiles. So, like, no custom enemies, no custom graphics outside of those two things. One custom song. So you were much more limited, and getting as much out of a map pack that feels completely different, like Gravitas, was a huge fucking deal at the time. Now it's, you know, more trite and a little annoying. Little corner cuts in some places. Alright, so, what else can we look at? Earlier we looked at the Random Mappack. Now I want to show you Cartridge Tilt to compare. I made one Cartridge Tilt map pack that was specifically for 1.6 to test against. And, this was my answer to the Random Mappack nearly 10 years later. This is one of my very, very most recent map packs, actually. It's this and Retrush, and that's it. Like I said, this was my answer to the Random Mappack, but I wanted to make it more sophisticated and more ridiculous, as you can see. Instead of placing a random tile ID in each space, it instead generates random structures all over the place. So you have, like, pipes and rows of coins, hills, ground, these, whatever they're called, athletic, trees, treetops, stairs and castle bridges and flagpoles all over the goddamn place. And then to top it all off, it then puts random tiles in random places. So it's a lot more sophisticated garbage than the Random Mappack was, but it's still garbage. And I'm still really, really fond of this as a concept, even if it's not necessarily, like, the most interesting thing to play 32 levels of. It's still neat in theory. I always remember Cartridge Tilt because you were working on it around the time we started chatting, plus Vinesauce corruptions. Basically, Sky made a roguelite. That's a good way of putting it. And yeah, those are good memories. I really liked getting to show this off in a dev thread on Twitter. I should probably archive that thread at some point on Tumblr, because, Twitter is dying imminently. The tables with green tablecloths. Is that what we call the treetops? Yeah. So, something I wanted to do that I don't know how well I accomplished, I think I accomplished this rather well, actually, is that I wanted the 1.6 and AE versions of Cartridge Tilt to generate the same base level layouts, but just AE was a progressive enhancement, so, like, differently colored backgrounds, and maybe a couple of extra enemies. I don't remember if I actually got to do that or not. I know that was an idea I was floating. Where was I going with that? So if you generate a map pack, with the 1.6 or the AE flag, but everything else is the same, it should actually result in the same map pack for either 1.6 or AE, just a couple of extra things on top of that. I really liked that, the Random Mappack was my first program I ever made for fun outside of high school, and then Cartridge Tilt, when I started working full-time, was the first program I made while also doing programming full-time. Like, for multiple years, I would get home and think to myself, God, I do not feel like doing any programming or website work of any kind. And then, one day, far, far in the future, I started working on Cartridge Tilt, and this was my first programming project that I made while working full-time, for fun. So, it kind of came full circle in that way, and very sentimental about it for that reason. God damn it. Okay, we've seen enough of this. Y'all have seen Cartridge Tilt, more or less. Playing through it at 1.6 is more of a novelty than anything else. Not having the energy to do programming for fun has always been a creative death sentence for me. Yeah, in that case, do know that when you get into programming full-time, it's going to suck coming home and also doing more programming. This is why I actually took the job that I did, which is working on boats rather than working on games. It was partly because if I work on boats, it's at least distant enough from working on games that I can get home and be excited about then going to work on games for my own, if I ever wanted to do that. Or levels, or retrush, or whatever else. My job is sufficiently distant enough from what I do on a day-to-day basis that I can go in and do that and still feel... and come home and still feel good enough to do other things. I have run out of music. I was supposed to set this on loop. There we go. So, what else do we have here? Or just get into a different hobby at that point. Yeah, that's true. If you get the right job, that's your dream job, where you have the creative freedom to do whatever programming you want, or at least is in a field that you're being told, hey, do this, and it's something that you find is fun, definitely go for that, but then find another hobby. But I didn't want to monetize my hobbies because it puts a lot of pressure and stress on me specifically. For some people, it works great. I don't think I'm that kind of person. It's also why I don't try to push for streaming as being my full-time thing. It's just sort of a side thing that I do with y'all. I play video games with y'all, and that's that. Walk away from it feeling refreshed. There's only one other 1.6 map pack I want to look at today. I keep mentioning Zelda. Zelda was my other big project before Retrush. It was supposed to be my big 1.6 project that I finally released one day, and I never did. Never finished it. But it's got a lot of content, and like New Super Mario World, it's probably going to be its own stream. So instead, let's look at this shit. This is New Super Mario World Rush. We already played New Super Mario World on stream last time, so I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of what's going on here, other than telling you, look at the timer. There's 100 seconds left on the timer. Every single level got set to 100 seconds, and that's the map pack. I swear to God, that's it. I don't even know if half of these levels are fucking completable because of that. But apparently this was something I really wanted to do because New Super Mario Bros. 2 had just come out, and I decided that I would make a rush mode for it as well. Because, fuck, why not? New Super Luigi U moment. Yeah, that too. But like I said, I don't even know if these levels are fucking completable in 100 seconds. I know some of them are. I never actually tested very much of this, though, so I couldn't tell you if I could, like, make it through this level in 100 seconds or not. Why don't we figure out? You can see I kind of toned down some of the difficulty in certain sections to make it easier, but I don't think I even got to that for every single level, so it's kind of bullshit. There is no reason for this to exist. Even as far as, like, making a side mode for New Super Mario World goes, I was trying to finish New Super Mario World by a deadline that I had set for myself, while making this and many levels that I hadn't finished yet at the time, all at once. And doing this just sort of took more time away from that. So I really don't know why I made it. Let's see how far I can get before I run into a level where I have to run out of time, and strictly speaking, do not have enough time at all. This one's going to be very challenging to do in 100 seconds, I think. But... Nope. Nope, that took way too long. Christ. This is going to be my first impasse. If I can make it past 1-3, I'd be lucky. Shit, god damn it. Okay. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Nope, no pressure. No pressure. There's only 100 seconds on the clock. Definitely no pressure. Basically, I wanted to torture myself today on stream in front of all of you. Thank you all so much for watching this shit. I simply could not do it without having people, a captive audience, watch me die right before the flag. Yep! I'm not even gonna try that. Fuck that. Okay! Sky confirmed masochist. Yep! You understand. So that's all the ones for 1.6. Let's get into Community Edition, because I made some unique stuff for Community Edition as well, and most of my Community Edition stuff never saw the light of day. Here is something called Anti-Gravitas. Why does the sound so blown out? Sounds completely different from how it sounded earlier. Anyway, you can see the gimmick here. This is a very silly map that was supposed to follow up Gravitas the First. Never got very far with it because I couldn't come up with good puzzles for it. It's kind of just okay. I also ruined the collision here apparently, but there's not much else to see, I promise you. It sounds low quality. Yeah, I wonder what's up with that. But there was only the one level made for it, and it only gets this far before I ran out of steam and thought to myself, okay, I don't even know what to do with this map pack. I don't even know what kind of puzzles to make with this concept. It's just strange. It's neat as an idea to follow up Gravitas with, but it doesn't work as something that is easy to design levels for. So I never got very far with it, sadly. But, you can at least see that I tried. I think it's a Love 11 thing. All the sound is crunchy. No idea why, though. Okay, why don't I do something real quick, then? And edit things on the fly. Do I have Love 9 installed? I'm gonna go and check. I'm editing shortcuts live on stream. I'm hacking my computer. This music is computer hacking music. Where's Love? Where's Love? There's Love. Nope, it looks like I only installed one version of it, so I need to go into the other properties. Love8.exe, copy. There we go, change that to Love 9. And then start in here, apply, okay. Let's see if that worked, or if I just fucked it. Hey, that worked. Let's see if the sound's still crunchy. I did it! I fixed it! Stream saved! Okay, let's get out of here. Let's look at something else. So, what else is there? We have a map pack called Cruel and Unusual. This was supposed to be my take on, like... God, what's it called? The really hard fucking challenges from indie games of the era. It was specifically inspired by Castle in the Darkness for this one. Something called the Torture Chamber. That's what it is. And, oops, I opened a second version of Mari0. I don't need to do that. I'm streaming. I'm doing it. So, this entire area in the original draft of this level was blocked off. I only removed it so that you could see the other thing. You were supposed to jump up through here, sneak down through here without touching the spikes. Like that. Caustic spotted, yes indeed. These cannons were firing hammers. Standing in the doorway would take you to each next room, but I didn't have any next rooms, so that's all there is. And you were supposed to grab keys, which replace coins in this. This is a really tight jump to get up to that key. Fucking sucks. You have to get a running jump, and there's no space with which to run. You have to get a running jump from this side of this spike. So in order to do that, you have to jump back and then forward. It sucks. It's so awful. I was trying to do, like, all sorts of weird, platformer shit with it, and I even, drew out some maps for levels that I was going to make. You'd find a key here, get it here, so I graphed out a high-level plan for this one, and then just never followed through because I had other things I wanted to work on. There we go! Nailed it. So now we've got our key. And we can't do anything with it anyway, because going in the door, it's not locked. So, whatever. You can see I've blocked out a bunch of rooms in the editor. And this was going to be filled out with a giant map. I wonder if I have that map on hand. I don't think I do, but maybe I can find it. I have to quickly go look for, I have to quickly go look through my own Twitter to find a... Look for a specific tweet with specific media on it. Where is... I don't even know what keyword I used for it. This fucking sucks. Why didn't I save this somewhere? God damn it. No, I can't find it. Shit. But I drew out maps for the levels that I wanted to, make. There were going to be 4 stupidly hard torture chamber-ish levels of this, and I didn't end up following through with more than one room of it, because I had other things I wanted to work on, so this was more of just a concept than anything. Who made that one super hard map pack using the portal tiles and Kirby 64 factory music? Oh, shoot. I remember what you're talking about. I might even have it. I don't appear to have it, actually. Don't worry about the 7 different versions of Retrush. It's no big deal. No big deal. Yeah, I don't have it. Shit. That's too bad. Okay, so other stuff to look at. Let's see. We have Duality. Not to be confused with the Mario Maker level of the same name. You would walk through a space and go into the background of a wall, and there would be 2 parts of the level on each side of the wall, and I don't know if there would be puzzle solving involved or what, but the main thing that I had to figure out with, the main problem that I couldn't solve with this was figuring out how to make the rest of the objects go from the background to the foreground. So, like, if I had any enemies on here whatsoever, they'd just, like, slip right through the wall and it'd look funky. So there was no way for me to really do anything other than a puzzle map pack with this, which I think I was going to lean on at some point, but then I just never followed through with it. Anyway, that was the idea. It's a little trippy, yeah. Let's see. We'll look at floating isles last, I think. Here's something called Graph. And the description says Graph Paper Mario Sticker Science. This was going to be my attempt at a puzzle map pack in Special Edition. You can see it looks like it's drawn out on a sheet of graph paper. It's exactly my aesthetic. Here's what the light bridges look like. How do I get out of here? Shit. There we go. God damn it! Okay, good enough, good enough. So now we can hop up around the backside of this and use the light bridge to keep going. Like so. So I put some effort into the graphics here. All of these are mine. You can see the faint line going from the door to the switch here, so I did try to make some ant lines. Like, I tried with this. I definitely tried to make something unique with this. I just didn't have the patience to sit down and make a portal map pack again. Or a puzzle map pack, specifically. Especially because you've seen all of my other map packs. None of them, strictly speaking, are portal map packs. I don't really have the experience with making such a thing. So, this would have been my first one in that vein. Shoot. We need this cube again. So, this is a drop-through platform. You can tell because it has a funny dotted line on it. There is actually a way up to this coin, and it's because this block is not solid. And this is all I came up with for this level. But it has a neat visual style, and I'm still really proud of how it looks. It just didn't get very far with designing things for it. Here's one that looks more like engineering drafting paper. Slip through the bottom of here. That's about as far as this level got, but it looks neat. It's mostly just a visual test. One of the rare map packs to change the portal sprites, too. Yeah, by the time Special Edition and Community Edition rolled around, you could actually change the graphics of things. This was also when custom enemies were added, so a lot of map packs suddenly started ballooning in scope and adding new custom entities and all sorts of graphic stuff and foregrounds and, you know, just going ham. But that means a lot of map packs ballooned in scope, and all of these big projects that I wanted to do were just too big. Here's Mari0 Brothers Community Edition, or not Community Edition, Championship Edition. This is also before wraparound levels existed, so there's portals here instead. There's 5 minutes on the clock exactly. You were just supposed to survive and get as many points as possible. There's a spawner up there that spawns random enemies. I think there's one on the left side too, and I haven't spawned anything yet. They're supposed to spawn things faster than this over time, I think, or at least that was the plan. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to spawn more than a Goomba. Yeah, here we go. Here's a Spiny. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Here's another Goomba. Let's see what else it ends up spawning. I'm just gonna sort of let things spawn here for a moment, because I want to show you something else that I made. So, we've got a couple Goombas. Let's see if we can get a Spiny on screen. Nope, just another Goomba. It seems to really favor Goombas. And then, Goombas would also be able to walk off... Enemies would be able to walk off the sides of the pipe where Mario can't. Or he can actually run across the side here. But enemies wouldn't. They would actually be transported back up to the top. So you can watch this Goomba go down and come up from the top pipe up there. So now we've got enough enemies to show this off. I had a POW block. I added a POW block to this game because there were no POW blocks in Special Edition or Community Edition. It's actually an animated tile that, when you hit it, triggers all the other animated tiles on the screen to turn spike top. So anything that's touching the ground would die immediately, and you're Mario, you're not touching the ground. And then it would just turn back, and now the POW block's gone. 3 uses, it's gone. Made that in Special Edition, which was kind of a big deal. And now it's not, because there's just POW blocks in the game. Anyway, that's what that was going to be. I had a lot more bigger plans for it, like different kinds of enemies that would spawn, and remaking the flies, whatever those are called. No, not sidesteppers. Those are the crabs. There would also be crabs. Fighter flies, that's what they're called. And I had a lot of plans for this one, and Special Edition being as limited as it is kind of made it hard for me to follow through on any of my plans, so it didn't end up going as far as I hoped it would. I could probably do it in AE these days, but I wouldn't because it'd take too much of my time. Let's see, what else are we gonna look at? Here's something called New Donk City. This one is a long story. You can see there's really not much here other than some tiles. This uses some repaleted Mario Maker tiles that I had found. This was pretty late, actually, now that I think about it. This isn't just 2014 anymore. We have moved on into 2015, 2016, 17. I don't remember when this iteration of New Donk City was made, but the idea was there would be multiple stars hidden around a level, like a collectathon level. It'd be one big city map with a west and an east side. You could get between different sides of the city by going underground and using a subway, and there would even be stars down in the subway or up in the buildings. You'd climb up into places. There'd be a fountain in the middle, and one of the stars was going to be that you would fall all the way from the top and land and crack the fountain, and under the fountain, the glass fountain, there'd be a star down there. So there were a lot of plans for this, but if it sounds familiar to you, that's because this eventually became Lost in Skyway Metro, the level I made for Mario Maker 2. The really big one where you have to find 8 key coins to get to afford the subway fare. I assume this was after the release of Odyssey. No, actually! The original iteration of this was when subway level... Super Bell Subway came out for new Mario Kart 8, and then eventually when Odyssey came out, yes, I called it New Donk City instead. I forget what I was going to call it in the original, though, but this was originally inspired by Super Bell Subway for Mario Kart 8. Just to be absolutely clear about the inspirations here. And like I said, it eventually became Lost in Skyway Metro, and it's probably better as a single level than it is a full map pack. What else do we have? Did you know I tried to make a new Super Mario World 2 multiple times, and one of them was much later in Special Edition? Here's my attempt at making that. You can see it uses the tiles from New Super Mario Bros. 2 on the 3DS. They're a little anti-aliased. It uses enemy sprites from Mario & Luigi Dream Team. I don't think Paper Jam was out yet at the time that I was making this, but they more or less fit in with the sprites here. And I was able to use semi-solids for once, because those didn't exist in 1.6. Gold bricks with a lot of coins in them. I know I wanted to make a custom coin enemy, but this was before that was reasonably possible, oddly enough. This is a lot cleaner level design than New Super Mario World the first was. And this is about as far as we get. I didn't make too much of this because I had my sights set on something else. We're gonna play that something else last, but I can at least show you that there's some screen mock-ups here. We've got this, and this first level, and we've got a desert level. Just a single screen mock-up of what's going on. You can see I've got the Spinies walking with their animations. Fire flowers. Sandy Dunes types levels. That is a cursed Koopa. Yes, it definitely looks a little odd. A little anti-aliased. Yeah, I know. So, something I didn't realize until I started working on the tile set is that, I thought New Super Mario Bros. 2 had 16 by 16 tiles. That's why I used that tile set. It turns out the tiles are actually 20 by 20, and I resized every single one of them to 16 by 16, and that's why it looks blurry. It's very, very cursed. Something fun I wanted to do with this is that, the ice blocks actually have the mirror property on them, so you can shoot portals halfway across the screen by aiming in the wrong direction. I think I wanted to do some puzzly things with that, but obviously I never got far enough. And then there's a good old castle level. New Super Mario Bros. Castle type beat. The Dream Team sprites really enemy sprites really look good in this style. I'm actually kind of proud of how that looks along with everything else. So that's what New Super Mario World 2 was going to be. New Super Mario World 2 1 was part of 1.6, and I still don't know why I made that while making New Super Mario World 1. Insane. I have a lot of history with the New Super Mario Bros. Series, as you can see. What else do we have? Most of these are just going to be, like, little one-level concepts or things. I don't know if you've noticed. Here's something called Reprise. This is while I was working on Retrush, and it's a version of Retrush that was supposed to be part of a speedrunning thing. Stab Yourself used to go to Gamescom every year, and they used to bring with them a speedrunning level, and one year they decided that that speedrunning level was played out, so they asked the community to make one. So I made one. I made it out of various parts of Retrush, and this is what it looks like. I believe my submission ended up being accepted, and this is the one that they ended up using, with a few tweaks, of course. They didn't like the fake flagpole, so that I removed that. Here's an area with starts to get more castle-y. I believe I had a background on this that starts turning it slowly to black, and then looks like this once you get to the castle. It was supposed to be black here. Promise you it was supposed to look better than this. This is a mean little keyhole puzzle. But this would have run on a modified version of the game that has a time attack mode that I believe got dummied out of later versions of Community Edition. So, neat little bit of Mari0 history there. Let's see what else we've got. 5 different versions of Retrush. These are the ones that I was using when I was getting screenshots of old versions and stuff. I'm not going to show those today. Maybe another day. Here's something called Shrines. These are some tiles that I made that are my own, actually. These are custom. I didn't actually get very far with it, as you can see. But the idea was that I was going to use funnels. Let's see if I have the graphics here for these. I do. So the idea was that the speed was going to be set to 0 in the actual in the level file, since you can see it has a minimum of 1, but you can actually set it to 0, and I was going to use this as a stasis. So this was going to be like a Breath of the Wild shrine, and you could use the stasis power to stop things in place and solve puzzles that way. It was supposed to be for a, looks like it was supposed to be for a contest map pack, but a contest that never went through, but I never got very far with it. So this is my first custom tiles that I actually got far enough into making, and I think these, the excursion funnel graphics are custom too, so that was the idea. Let's see, I think the other way, if you put it in reverse, was supposed to be... Those actually have 2 different graphics, so this was supposed to be magnet, yep. And it was going to pull things towards your portal. You would only have one portal, and the other one would be set to the excursion funnel indefinitely. So, that was the idea behind what the puzzles were going to be like. The old one level and a tile set, I've got so many of them. Yeah, most of mine, as you can see, are for special edition. But I have plenty of them of my own. And then I don't know how I was going to make, like, if I wanted to do a, bombs from the Breath of the Wild shrines, but you at least have the magnesis power and the stasis power accounted for. So that was going to be a little puzzle map for a contest, and we have something called sketches, which I don't really know what I was doing with these outside of sketching them out, but these were supposed to be little, like, tile set sketches using the big Ultra Palette Mario Maker plus SMB1 plus hacks tiles. You can see the water gets darker in color as you go down. Or not the water, but the tiles. Definitely attempting something really neat with the lighting effects. I did this a lot in Zelda, which we will see another day. One up hidden up here. A lot of these are just sketching out ideas for things that I wanted to do in other levels. They thought, I don't know, maybe this would turn into something one day, but it never really did. Little coconuts using the flagpole tops. Here we have something that sort of plays off of the the torture chamber map pack, Cruel and Unusual, that I was doing previously. I don't know if that's what this was supposed to be for, but I was at least sketching out what it could have looked like in that. Here we're using more mirror ice blocks. And yeah, this is exactly the thing that I did in Cruel and Unusual, so I think this was just what that became. Do this. There were no doors in AE, only sprites programmed to act like real ones. No, there were no doors in Special Edition, so that was probably just going to be a pipe down into here, which is another weird-ass concept. So there's an auto-scrolling thing going on here. It's fake, sadly. But the idea was that it wouldn't be fake and that these spikes would kill you. It uses a foreground that cannot scroll with a level that can, and you can even scroll vertically while this horizontal scrolling is happening without you. So it's at least a neat level concept, but it looks like I couldn't really get very far with it. New Super Mario Bros. Wii 5-Tower. I don't remember enough about New Super Mario Bros. Wii, but I bet it is. I bet it is. Let's see what this is. This is just a lighting test. Oops, epilepsy warning. Lightning. This area under this specific platform is dark. So it's like using different palettes to imply lighting, and then flashing the background because fuck you. What else do we have here? We have... What the fuck? I think this was supposed to be something where the camera would scroll half a screen at a time and center each of these colored boxes. I don't remember this at all. What the fuck? Okay. That exists. Here's a, like, another little attempt at a city-style... city in the sky type of thing where buildings can hang off of the bottom of the glassy floors here. Used lanterns and night sky shenanigans. I really liked using lighting effects with the different palettes in Mario 1, so I probably would have leaned into that really hard after all the practice I got with Zeta. Speaking of which, we should probably just skip over to this one immediately. Speaking of lighting effects, here's an animated one. The lights in the center here glow all the way around through here. The only reason this didn't end up being an actual level is because this just ended up being too fucking hard to make a level out of, because I had to worry about every single one of these little animated tiles. But it's a really, really, really pretty looking area. I really like this still. Wish it could have become something. Like looking at a Zelda 1 map if you could see multiple screens at once, referring to the other one that was supposed to be, like, weird camera or whatever that I couldn't remember. Yeah, that sounds about right. Probably something that I was going for, even. Here's what would eventually become a level in Retrush, the Oregano Oak. This was the original tile set demonstration of it, using a different tile set, but hey, it's along the same lines. Multicolored grassy tile sets here, and grasses in the foreground that merge with the background color, which is just a single solid color. So that's a neat effect. I don't know what this is. Probably my attempt at a really big mushroom stalk, but this doesn't look very good, so I guess this is why I scrapped it immediately. And then there's this level concept, which is sort of a, sewer plant. Can portal down into the water here to get these coins, and then I didn't make these, waterfalls swimmable. But this is as far as I got with just concepting a, a design for a level. You can see at this point I got pretty good with designing art for these levels out of just a standard Mario tile set in various colors. And I'm still pretty proud of having that skill. It's something that I wish I could translate to Mario Maker, but Mario Maker doesn't give you the option to use different palettes. You have to use just what's there. So I would be making much prettier things if you could let me recolor tiles. Yes, I also know that idiots would make dicks out of them. Who cares? Spalian Tack jump scare, special something jump scare. Here's a quote-unquote map pack called Strangeness, which has just one level in it that I have to turn this off because it broke. But here's the concept behind this level. For some reason, all of these fireballs can move along the x-axis. So I made a little wave out of them, and I made a little platforming challenge out of the wave. That opening section was just supposed to make you sit there so that you had to wait for more fires to spawn, and couldn't just speedrun past all of them. It broke, though. This is the one I tested the stream setup with, so when I realized it broke, I just knew I had to remove the opening section. That's too bad. This is neat looking. I'm sure it would lag your computer at a certain point with all of the enemies that spawn and never despawn. In fact, I can kind of see it jittering even as we speak. Oh, that's a tight jump. Let's do that instead. And then they die right here in front of Bowser. And that's Bowser, and that's it. That's a cute little concept for something, but I don't know. Can never trust water in Mari0 map packs. If I played these ones with water in them, I would try anything else before jumping in. I would definitely teach you that the water is swimmable before you were actually jumping into the water. I think that's part of what that beach level was supposed to be teaching you. Here's Terminal Velocity. This uses a Sonic Rush tile set. The idea is that you would run around this way, and then start running down this way. And you would jump over obstacles and stuff. Look at this fucking shit. He didn't get very far. That's okay. It's still neat. It's a fun use of the gravity gel. Funny loop. If you slow down at any point, the auto-scroll just runs past you. That was part of the big problem with it. Like, if you brushed up against a block or something, the illusion would just be immediately ruined. So, that's part of why this never panned out, but, again, neat concept. I was mostly just trying shit and seeing what sticks with most of this stuff. Apmu says, wow, that's not sight-readable at all. Good reference! Great reference! Outstanding reference. World test, that's not much of anything. Zeta. Okay, I think we've looked at practically everything else there is to look at. So we have one more thing. Now that's just about all the time we've got, but we have one more thing to look at. Please, take a look. We need to turn off the music for this, and turn on the actual in-game music, because I actually put in music for this one. This is Floating Isles. These tiles are made by Mitt, also known as Mitsumi or Super Mitt, or something over the years. Many, many names. Music is still too loud because I never actually balanced the audio when I was making this. This was supposed to be, before Ret Rush, this was supposed to be my big special edition map pack. You can see it's 1-1. There's a big earthquake, and then there's just ruins out here. This is where the title, Floating Isles, comes in. You can climb all the way up this vine, and you find that all of the world of the Mushroom Kingdom has been ripped up and started floating off of the ground. Here's the rest of 1-1. So this wouldn't just be remixes of Mario levels, this was just the way I was going to introduce the concept. This was supposed to be my big deal map pack before Ret Rush, and it was going to have 6 worlds, and I had it all planned out. I was going to do this, that, and the other thing, and it just didn't pan out because it ended up being way too big and complicated to work on. There's a lot of weird stuff in it, like, for some reason, you can just slide in under here and jump up through here because those are actually semi-solid. This is where you find the underground section. I don't know why I set it up like that, but I did. Can't actually go in the pipe, but if you go down here, you can see there's a route down around there. And now we can come up through here, and you can see that the stairs from 1-1 have all been shaken up and tossed around. This is where you would move on to the end of the level, but we were informed of this clouds. We were informed of this clouds. I died. Oops. This would have been cool to play. I did release this. I released what exists of this. So you can play it if you want to go and get Special Edition or Community Edition. But this is not playable in Allison's Entities at all. If I ever decide to convert it over, it would be because I decide to pick this back up and make more levels for it. But I don't see that happening right now. You can see I have Galoombas. I was using all of Super Mitt's tiles and enemies to great effect. Or Mitts and me, or just Mitt. These days, I believe he's admin of the 1UP World Discord. So, congrats on the promotion. Just run across here, even though we can barely see that cloud. Kind of challenging. You can also see we don't have our portal gun yet. Woof. These were supposed to be secret challenges. Didn't end up making any of them, but now they just take you to the end of the level. But there were supposed to be hidden secret doors in every level with a secret level behind them. Sound familiar? Yes, it's the X levels from New Super Mario World again. No shock there. William Frog immediately knew what I was talking about. Yup. So we move on to 1-2, which is, once again, a remix of 1-2 from SMB1. Again, I wasn't going to stay doing this the whole time, but you can see, like, how I split up the level more, with, like, levels are being broken up as they go through the sky. They're not being held together anymore. The idea for the story of this was that Bowser was the one who ripped up the world and caused it to float in the sky. He used the Star Rod again. He managed to find it again from Paper Mario. And, at the end of the map pack, you'd fight him with the Star Rod, and once you broke the Star Rod, everything would fall down, and you would have one big final fight in the, during the collapse of everything falling. Looks like I can't reach up there either. Man, it'd be good if I had the portal gun for that, though, huh? We head up here, open up these switches. Now there's portals. It's kind of taking us up 1-2 in a vertical section. Kind of an awkward jump in some of these places. Would have been nice if I had fleshed this out. Hit a question mark switch, which turns on outputs, which was not something that was really possible in the original game's engine. I did it in a very hacky way, using region triggers. But it does work. You can hit switches and they do things. Going up the side of 1-2 again. You can see as we go up, there's a little room over there. We can fall down into the room, and this is the bonus area that you would normally find in 1-2, and the last brick also has coins in it. You break the Star Rod and the events of Kirby's Adventure take place. This is Sticker Star music, right? Yes, it is, and Sticker Star's soundtrack still fucking owns. I wish more people would respect it for that much, at least. Hit that switch, the platform rises up. Welcome to Warp Zone! Here's where you get the portal gun. Now we can use it to go on our merry way. If I felt like going all the way back down to the bottom, we could use the portal gun to get up into that door that we saw. Which, yes, that's the legitimate way you're supposed to get up there. You were supposed to get the portal gun first, because now you've found the portal gun, and you have it for the rest of the adventure. It's just 1-1 and 1-2 that you don't have it. That's also why it leans into the classic level design. The faith plates are so invisible. They really, really are. I meant to make them look a bit like note blocks, but they're definitely very not readable. Not very sight readable. here's where we start getting into some original level designs. It starts to use the portal gun more often. It's supposed to be a hybrid Mario portal type thing. It's like New Super Mario World in that way. Just, you know, less bullshit. Open this up, we get some faith plates. Not faith plates, what the fuck? Light bridges. The light bridges in this are yellow. I decided to be unique, I guess. Get a star. I actually don't want to do that. I actually want to go over here. Because there's a secret over here. And then it tells you to go down. Interesting, huh? Here's what happens if we go down. Boom. I don't want to. No sound effects for that, but I would have added some. Landing from falling that far knocked a 1-up out of the tree. Which is a custom animation that I added myself. Here's another case of, like, why are you able to walk through here? I wanted to have several of those, and I don't really know why. All the glass pipes and stuff were supposed to be mirrors. Mirror tiles. I really wanted to use mirror tiles for something. Look at the portal lines go. Pew! Pew! There's two ways to go up through here. You can either go up here using the light bridge that you got, or you can head up this way. By heading up this way, you have to avoid the enemies going up the vertical shaft, and here's a checkpoint. It's a random stack of fucking semi-solid blocks. I don't know why I did this. I think it's funny, though. I definitely put my all into this level design. This was when I was a lot further along with my ability to make unique things. Speaking of random places that you can, for some reason, portal into. You can, for some reason, do this, and there's a faith plate down there that skips all of this section, but we're not going to skip it. We're going to do it legit. Hop up here. It's not even skipping that much. It's more just for speedrunning. Why is there a floating sign here, I wonder? Well, why don't I show you? First, I have to do it right, and not die. First, I have to play the video game. Correctly. Correctly, I might add. This might be an easier way to handle it, actually. Yeah, that lines it up beautifully. So now I just have to... boink. That's another 1-up. Kind of a convoluted 1-up, but it's a neat idea. And then you hop up here, and wind takes you all the way over to another island. Because there were no doors in Special Edition, I made it so that, music fades out because I never looped it. I made it so that the doors have a down arrow on them so that you knew that you had to do that at least. Press down. Shoot a portal straight between two mirrors and soft lock yourself, I dare you. These secrets are not very findable. No, they're not. Definitely agree with that. I still hadn't gotten the hang of hiding secrets, but I'd definitely gotten much better at making levels. This is the level that wasn't finished. When I released the what I had of this map pack, I was very clear about this. Something that I wanted to make a major mechanic of the map pack is that I wanted to make it so that you could portal on lava. The lava would be solid spike tiles, but you could portal on it and get across to different things. I also had a custom thwomp that I made that is not very good, because Special Edition didn't really allow for things like this very well. In fact, if you stand here under him for a while, the game really starts to lag. Let's see how long it takes. You can see the game really lagging now. Jesus. Jesus. God damn it! God damn it! Thwomp that leaks your memory! Thwomp that leaks your memory! Got it! Thank God. Okay, so I didn't finish that level. Here's one I did finish, though. Here's little mini Goombas. They don't hurt you. They just, they make your movement funny. The secrets are not very findable in this game, and nowhere is it more apparent than in this level, and I'll show you where the door is once we get there. I'm just thinking about that in advance. And part of my struggles was that I was struggling to find good backgrounds for this stuff, because it didn't make any backgrounds to go with these tiles. There tiles. So what I did for this was I made it so that I used backgrounds from SMB3, the All-Stars version, because they look pretty good, and that was the best I could do. I just repaletted them to sort of match the theme of the levels a little bit better. But I couldn't find good backgrounds for all of the levels. That was part of my big struggle with it. If you can hop across that Koopa, you'll land on the block next to him, and you can jump across here so that you don't have to go the long way around. I built a lot of speedrunning stuff into this, and some of the speedrunning stuff is really, wild. These wind gust things are actually just repaleted, excursion funnels. And speaking of which, here's one of those secrets that I was talking about that I'm not sure how anyone was supposed to find. But you could go up here, and when you did that, it would show you that the door is actually over there. And then, to get over there, you would do this. And funnel your way across. But I don't want to skip the rest of this level, so I'm not going to. We're gonna hop back down here and try and take the, funny speedrunning shortcut. No, we're not. Never mind. We're not going anywhere. Hey, nailed it! Yeah, so I put a lot of thought into these levels, for sure. It's not necessarily the best level designs ever, but it's at least a significant improvement over what I was making for New Super Mario World, for sure. It also didn't make any Monty Mole graphics, so those are just Mario World ones recolored to be 8-bit for some reason, because that's all I had on hand. So this block turns on and off that gust. While that gust is blowing, we can't go up here. So, had to come and turn the gust off. Mini Goomba hell. Once again, I didn't loop any of the music yet. This was very, very early on. Turns out you're okay with putting up with some shit most of the time when you're working on something. You just get something in there so that you can get the vibe. You know what I mean? Here's your introduction to poison mushrooms. You have plenty of time. It is kind of a surprise, though. Cutscene to show that you turned that on. Kind of jarring. There's actually stuff there that keeps you from just falling off. A Monty Mole that's... I forgot that the Monty Mole comes out and jump scares you when you're at the end of the gust. That's actually kind of funny. There's probably something up there, too. I don't care to figure out what it is. We're not doing that. Does it immediately. Yes, you're right. You're right. If you're fast, you can bounce off of the Monty Mole and reach the top of the flag. Seems like I was investing because I was working on Retro so much, I was investing a lot in speedrun strategies, and not all of them are particularly intuitive. Here's the other level that I almost finished but didn't quite. It's another one where there's one of these faith plates down here for no particular reason. Just to skip the climb. Okay, there's another faith plate there too. How do I get those coins then? By portaling to them, obviously. But that appears to skip all of that platforming. jump you can make to get a bunch of coins. It doesn't look like it gets you anything, though, so I don't know why that's there. Maybe landing there would have knocked a 1-up out of the castle or something. What I mean by that is, maybe that's what I was going for if I had finished making what I was making. And that's it. We have reached the end of Floating Isles, and this is everything I have to show about it. Thanks for playing! Thank you so much for playing my game! Or, thank you for watching me play my games. Alright, so that's all of my Mari0 stuff. You can see I've done a lot over the years. A lot more than a lot of people know, actually, and I just wanted to take a moment and show it all, because it's a lot of important history to me, and it shows my growth as a designer. A lot of this is playable right now. Obviously the unreleased stuff isn't, but you could go play Abstracta right now if you wanted to. You could go play Floating Isles right now if you wanted to. Mindache, Gravitas, all of those. We're gonna do this at least one more time where I show off Zelda, but Zelda was my big project like Floating Isles and New Super Mario World and Retrush. So Zelda is something that I need to take a little time and make sure that I can show it in the best light, you know? So we'll look at that another time, and that'll be another big Mari0 stream. But for now, that's everything I made for Mari0 1.6 and Special Edition, other than Zelda. Thank you so much for watching. This was a lot of fun getting to go back and reminisce. Thank you for listening to all of my rambles, talking about history, talking about things that happened 10 years ago, 12 years ago. Hylian says, cool to see you've been at this for such a long time. Yeah, and all of this work I did on Mari0 before Mario Maker came out is why some of my Mario Maker levels ended up being so popular. Like, Duality, the Mario Maker 1 level, was not the silly Special Edition map pack concept, but I made a level for Mario Maker 1 called Duality, where it flips over when you go in a pipe, and that one actually got shown off by Nintendo themselves on a Nintendo UK livestream on Twitch. Then later I made something called The Time Machine, and that one got shown off by GameXplain twice. So all of my Mario Maker stuff ended up being better for the fact that I had practice with Mari0. All of this is my foundations as a level designer, and even if not all of it is, like, amazing or whatever, like some of the secrets in Floating Isles are weirdly placed, some of these concepts are definitely not executed incredibly well. Mindache is cool in concept, but not as much fun to play. All of that shows my foundations as a designer and where I learned how to make puzzle map packs, platform map packs, puzzle platform map packs, portal type puzzles, and all of this other stuff, and it's good history, and I like getting to revisit my history every once in a while, so thank you for coming with me and joining me on this adventure as I do it. Once again, I would like to thank the people who were here and doing wonderful things on this stream. Y'all know I don't like to have alerts, but I like to read off what happened at the end. Most of it, what happened was at the beginning, actually. Childebert subscribed for 6 months, all in a row. I mean, like, purchased a 6-month subscription, like, up front, which is incredible. And Apple resubscribed for a month. And then, in the lead-up to the stream, I'd like to thank Pompadour Diamond and Polly No Hands for following, and Marley for watching 3 streams in a row. Thank you all so much. You're all so wonderful. Apex says, history is cool, don't want to repeat it. You want to learn from it, the good and the bad. Sometimes you do want to repeat your past successes. Most often, though, you want to find new successes. And you can see in the ways that I tried to grasp for those new successes while I was making these things. Floating Isles isn't just New Super Mario World, but bigger. It's also, like, trying to be higher concept with the story and better laid out levels, and not just having X levels and secrets for the sake of having them, but trying to design things in a way that would be fun to play. It was my next step beyond New Super Mario World. Mindache was my first attempt at a puzzle map, where going into a pipe flips over the level. This is what ended up being Duality, the one that the level that Nintendo themselves played on stream. All this history is here, and I'm really proud of how far I've come. But like they always say, in order to make good stuff, you have to make a bunch of shit. So if you've ever thought about making levels yourself, I promise you, you don't need to be good at it. You can just go do it. You don't need to make big things. You can just make little, like Tribute, the one level map pack I made that was just sort of a study of Mario 1. Yes, Mario 1 style map packs are dime a dozen. Who cares? You're learning. This is about you and your design history. If you make something cool out of that and the rest of us can play it, you've already succeeded. Even if the map pack is an aggressive 7 out of 10, like all of these other ones have been. So, this applies to any skill. I've been trying to take up drawing in my spare time, and it's going slow, but I'm learning in exactly the same way that I learned with all of this, and this is good for helping me keep that target in mind. I just want to give that same level of encouragement to anybody else who's watching, that it doesn't have to be 10 years worth of practice to get good at it. You can see where I got good at some things and wasn't great at others, but you have to make things in order to get good at them. That's the takeaway. You have to actually do it. You have to sit down and do the hard work of making the bad stuff in order to make the good. As long as you're having fun doing it, who cares if it's bad? Who cares if it's a rehash? Who cares if it's a retread? Who cares if it's unoriginal? Make things for the sake of making them, and success will find you. Promise. Anyway, thank you all for watching. We're gonna wrap up the stream there. This ended up going about 3 hours, which is exactly how long I wanted it to be, so we're on target. Friday, I'm going to be streaming Splatoon 3 Side Order, and then Sunday, when I inevitably don't clear it in one sitting, I will be streaming it again, so look forward to that this weekend. Until then, thank you all so much for watching, and keep dreaming. Keep making things. Keep making your dreams happen. It's worth it.